So flawless, baby, my diamonds still hitting, they flawless. Yeah, they keep calling, I keep on balling. Baby, I'm standing on business, so flawless. Baby, my diamonds still hitting, they flawless.
Phone ringing, she got the nose. I'm moving on. You ain't get the clue. You did me wrong. I'm done with you. 10,000 blues, what I'm thumbing through. Picking up my, and it's been taken. Fly out the way, secret location. Kiss on the lips right before breakfast. Coppin' Van Cleef, nigga with the extras. Rose gold piece and a diamond special. Put off in a Porsche playing my confession. I just play the game, never sweat up. Knew I had to change, got my bread up. I keep ballin', putting in work, still turning down offers. International with it, yeah, I get it round the globe. I'm focused on growth, niggas stand on my toes. What's happening? Ay.
Keep calling, I keep balling. Baby, I'm standing on business, so flawless. Baby,
Hey.
my diamonds still hitting, they flawless.
Larry June found his.
Yeah, found his little
solid
found his ad
ad-lib.
lib, dog. Ooh,
Numbers.
hey. I've been listening to Larry June. After last week's Splash Cast 36 pack, 24 pack, 36 pack, I was like, dang, I really do like Larry June's music. Let me go back and listen. And
It's cool adult music.
man, it is definitely rooftop chill out. I can definitely see LA vibes, rooftop music. Man, it's almost like
anywhere where there's a pool is adjacent. You are good money.
Yeah, boy. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. To episode 94 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We are here today. Had a little meltdown as part of the new DILF Brigade. My child had a meltdown right at 8:27.
Did y'all hear that? I'm gonna tell y'all now. I'm here. This is the pregame, and I'm literally still working, adding stuff to the show, moving stuff around. And I'm paying attention, and I'm here for the vibes. I'm happy to see everybody. Been looking forward to this all day. But Reggie tried to slide that past the goalie, and I'm like, "Excuse me, my friend. Come on back. Explain that to me. Come on back. Get out of that little corner."
Hey man, they always say that women, good-looking women that have children are MILFs. I was like, well, then I must be a DILF because I'm a good-looking father, Shannon.
You don't get. I don't think you delineate that. You're not the person who chooses.
Well, there's only one person that matters. That's going, and I'm sure she's going to agree. So I mean, I can't go ask anybody else. So by default,
point proven, you win.
By default, it is me. Boy, this dude, Jay McDaniel. So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know what it is. When there's a Hawks game on, we're extremely stressed. The Hawks are a 500 team. We just lost yesterday to the Celtics, so we are supposed to be beating the Timberwolves today. Right now, with 7 minutes, 42 seconds left in the third quarter, it is the Hawks, your Atlanta Hawks, 65. The Minnesota Golden State Warriors, 89. 89 to 65, shut in.
They on that. I'm sick of them. Trade everybody. I don't care.
Not everybody.
Trade John Collins.
Trade everybody.
Trade Clint Capella. Trade Bogey. I'm sorry, Quinn, you took over this team. I keep tweeting out that Nate took the defense when he left, and that somewhere him and Travis have a standing call for every game when they just get on the phone and all the foolishness that happens.
With all the money that they keep getting. Look at this. Just dunked on. I mean,
nope.
Oh my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the pregame, y'all know we like to have fun. We like to laugh. And speaking of paying everybody, this is what the Hawks should do. The Hawks should go find the team and just lock everybody out of the team, out of the facility, and just see what happens. It might work. That's how you break up with people. Just lock them out of the facility. Like your man Tiger. Tiger didn't think that his girlfriend, Erica Herman, would leave his mansion willingly. So willingly after the breakup. So he told her they were going on a vacation, but dropped her off at the airport and locked her out. Now she wants $30 million. first off, the money don't fit the crime, but that is, I mean, where did we begin? Tiger was like upstanding young man, gonna be the greatest golfer of all time, and then got outed for everything. Then got married. No, was married, got outed for all the side joints, got in a car accident, came back, won the Masters, had some kids, was wholesome, and everything again. He pretty much had regained. He became a billionaire twice. He pretty much had regained everything. And then your man, this bit of news comes back. What were your first thoughts here? I'm curious to know, because this is hilariously funny to me.
This is one of the best things I've read, seen, or heard about in an extremely long amount of time. Number one, shout out to the City Boys. We up 30 today, baby.
30,000.
Right
It's before you go. We up 30,000 because y'all still ain't recovered from getting peed on.
He hustled. This is the razzle dazzle of all razzle dazzle. First of all, let's think about this. You're smart because you know your girl is crazy. First of all, you know just a regular breakup, that ain't gonna work. No chance, no how. So he set it up. Hey, baby, let's go on a trip. Trip is she wasn't going nowhere but away from him. So you got her out of the house. You had to do that because there was no other way you were getting her out of the house. Then on top of that, he doubled back, went back, locked her out. Ooh, you are sick and savage. But once again, I'm telling you, he knows what type of woman he's dealing with. And clearly this is the type of woman who would try to sue him for $30 million.
I mean, so Tiger definitely has a type. He likes white, weapon-wielding, crazy, sell you out.
Gotta stop fucking with crazy bitches.
There's a W word that comes before the bitches part, because it's a theme. They're all
oh no,
toes are pink.
And yeah. But no, I'm that Reggie said that whoever is listening. And while you listening, remember, like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you, guys. We love it. Tiger knew what he was doing. He knew his personnel. Tiger, you make too much money to still be dealing with crazy women. There's some point along the way where we need you to take accountability for some of the things that's going on in your life.
Man, he got a type, Shonda. That's all it is. He got a type. Hey, man, there's rumors about crazy women. They have some of the best fun. And apparently he's fell in love with the fun. He likes the fun.
Or an intermediary if you gonna specialize in crazy. I personally
wait. No. You're not gonna step past that either. What do you mean by handler? That
you know that you need to have somebody. You need at least one degree of separation between you and her. So if that's your girlfriend crazy, you need to have a bodyguard around for your girlfriend.
Oh, a physical separation.
Yes. And now that it's over, oh yeah, and she's crazy enough to go for it, and she's smart, because if I sue for 30, what do you do? Probably settle for like 5. She good.
$5 million for a couple years with Tiger, plus all expenses paid. That's a hell of an internship, ain't it?
And a book. I'm writing.
Oh, book deal. Yeah.
I'll be on Judge Mathis, Lynn Toller, wherever y'all will have me. Judge Judy, wherever it is. Zeus TV, hey, y'all want to hear me talk about Tiger? And I know you do. Then hey, pay me large sums of money.
Ellen
Tiger,
DeGeneres.
you have to be better. You got to be more responsible with. In this case, I would say your golf clubs, your driver. You got to figure out how to keep it on the green and out of the rough, my friend.
There is a joke there.
I put it right by the rim. I put it right by the rim.
Yeah, but okay. I say a lot of jokes, but I also pass on a lot of jokes too. Oh man, hey man, this
He
old guy
passed it.
broke
He
his
would
own
not
record
pass
for
a drug
planking.
test. I don't care what you tell me about this man.
George Hood, he broke his own record. You know, he got like a whole Netflix special or something about him breaking
No,
the record.
I do not know him. This is strong Bill Nye as far as I'm concerned.
He does look like Bill. Nye,
Brolic Bill. Look at Brolic Bill.
He looks like the Green Goblin's brother. Like that. Like he 80. What is it? 62? He did it for 8 hours and 15 minutes.
Reggie said he 80. He 80. He's 62. I hate black people. You made that man way older than he was, and then gave the correct age. Boy, you look like you're about 62.
How do you start doing this? So of course he started this as a way to get in shape.
He's in shape. I can see that from here.
Oh yeah. But like how do you get? I can see planking for like 5 minutes. You know that's core steel, right? How do you get to like an hour? Like what is the point that you start to train for the world record? And he has a quiet please.
I mean, well, you got to do something. Once you put the bodies in the freezer, you got to give them a chance to kind of take hold. So you got to occupy your time for about 8 hours. You telling me this man doesn't look like Dexter Granddaddy?
He look like
No
a serial
way.
killer, bro, with that weird ass grin. Hey, but man, congratulations, George Hood.
100% has a part of his life that you do not want to know about. It's something.
Boy, the funniest quote I see right now is like, yo, for all them people that complaining about time going by too fast, just get in the plank position. Guarantee you time will slow down when you go there.
Hey, man, he has tortured somebody. If you willing to do that to yourself, I can only imagine what you'd do to them.
This?
And anybody who doesn't understand what I'm saying, hey, just for the rest of this segment, just until we get through these few topics, just go ahead and drop down and get your plank on. Tell me how you feel. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments.
Oh, man. Dang, this gonna take. It's always reload. Oh, this is
Talking
Buddy.
about a self-plank. Self-plank.
Buddy right here. So we don't know who this guy is. He's a high school track star. He looks like he's probably a football player or a wrestler.
Star on the track for sure.
Star of the track for sure today. He celebrated too early. What that mean? Look at my man. He took off. There he is. Yee! And look, 3.
You're way too
2,
big to be this
1.
This confident.
Bow.
Look at that. Boom. Look at life. Life come at you so fast. Look at that man.
Hey, look at Buddy pointing,
Oh,
and then pointed and laughed at him. Yo, he go point and laugh at him. That's funny. And he's younger too.
Yo, no weapon formed against me shall
Look, the
prosper.
point back right there.
Got
So for people that are listening,
it.
so this is clearly the 100 meters in high school, and a football player or upperclassman is sprinting.
That's the 80 meters for him.
And he put up the peace sign with about 20 meters to go, and pretty much was gonna lose, and was gonna win until he tripped, face planted, and walked off the track. The only thing you can do, you can just walk off the track. I ain't finishing. We just ain't gonna get them points.
It's great. It's great when Reggie explains it, but to actually see the turf monster jump out of nowhere, drag him down like a horse at the rodeo, oh my goodness. And for him just be so upset, I'm just done.
I'm about to say,
And
but
the
did you
little
see the
skinny
dude
kid won.
point?
That's the
Did you
best
see the
part
little
about it.
skinny
He
kid
is the
point back?
skinniest kid.
He's the youngest one on the track. It looks like he's the youngest one on the track. Now watch when.
Boy.
Let's see if I can catch it. Right there, you see him pointing back.
Happy
See?
Black History Month.
It's still Black History Month, people. Whatever.
Oh man.
But I will say, Buddy
Boy.
that fell looks like he about 220 though. He's moving. Like he was moving.
You know how bad this is? And like you gotta think about it from our era. If you do this is a story that will live in infamy, but there will not actually be like that evidence. Everywhere
like-
in the
yeah,
surrounding
you can come back
area
from
knows
this.
that kid now. And you remember that one kid we didn't like? Yeah, just the video him busted his ass in front of the world.
Surrounding area. This is on Sports Center. This is the
Take a
world
couple days
knows
off from
this.
school. Hey man, go ahead, go virtual. I'll be virtual for about 2 weeks.
Nah, I call out Sports Center. Y'all gonna show my bad races? Y'all gonna show me fall? I at them all day. They gonna know me for at least the next week. They have to know you for the next week.
Zuckerberg will wipe your damn account off. Ooh, sure.
Hey man, y'all donate because you can't make money with Zuckerberg. So y'all donate to the Splashcast.
Now you're trapping out the bando. You know what that means? Holla at me.
Now this is interesting.
No John Moran.
Alyssa Thompson took an English class in the morning and at night scored her first goal on her professional debut in Angel City in the Women's Soccer League. Here she is right here. And obviously she's a beast. Ooh, gave you that work. I'm faster than you. Too slow. Kick it right. Oh my God.
Oh my Lord. What were you doing? I wasn't even over there. The ball ain't over there, goalie.
She nutmegged the goalie, Shawty. She nutmegged the goalie.
Barbecue chicken, my friend. Yes. Number one, goalies play better defense. Number two, women are just better than us. That's it. They are 100% better at life than us.
Number three, she did this in 5 minutes.
Class early in the day, 5 minutes. Which we know as men, we were not going to class. And if we were, I was going to play in a professional game that night, well, I'm going to tell you, I had to take all day to get my mind right, so I'm not going to class. She went to class and took the test. Congratulations.
Passed, came, got dressed, warmed up, scored in the first 5 minutes of the game.
I'm too tired. I'm too tired to do one of these things today already. I didn't do either. And I don't want to do either now. Either I'm taking a test or I'm playing a soccer game. I'm not doing both. And I actually didn't either. And I'm tired like I did both. Yeah, congrats.
Man. Shout out to her, though, man. Moving on.
Jock Sir, Peterson. There he goes, mama. There goes that man.
I did not know the World Baseball Classic or World Baseball Championships was this like... This is like
Absolutely.
for real. This is almost like the World Cup of...
It's like World Cup light.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They hiring Americans to play for Israel and Mexico. Hey, well, they ain't hiring no Americans. Never mind. Tell you for Israel, they're not hiring Americans to play for Mexico. Hiring to play for Israel and other places. Mexico, they kicking our ass. They beat us today 11-5.
I understand that.
But Jock Peterson out there.
One thing I like about Jock Peterson is if there is baseball to be played, he wants to play baseball, whatever it is. It might be for the Braves one year, it might be for the Giants next year, might be for the Savannah Bananas, whatever it is.
Shout out to the Savannah Bananas. I would wear their hat on here.
To play baseball.
Yeah, but man, he's a fun character too.
We always support young Jock.
Yeah, yes. Always support.
He's a likable baseball player.
Yeah. You think all the people from Israel? No.
I'm not here to judge their
heritage,
region of origin. I had to choose the right word there. This is disrespect.
Hey, I am all for good disrespect, right? I'm all for good disrespect. It's fun. Looks like the Central Florida baseball team celebrated its sweep of Clemson by running down the hill at Death Valley, and nobody knows how they got in.
No, this is how you get beat up. This is on site. For me, this is on site. This is extremely on site. You know you had no business here. You did this anyway. When I catch you, and
you're not gonna catch me because we running right to the bus after this.
Hey, it could be a 21-71. You remember that time that you ran down Death Valley, and it's on site. As a person in a fraternity who has a tree, I understand this personally. No, this is not yours. You need to stay away from this. You got the rest of everywhere else to be. This is just one small portion of the world we ask you not to be. And what you gonna do? You're gonna do it anyway. So when I catch you, I'm gonna put my hands on you.
That's fine. This was funny. I don't care. Also, look how underwhelming
as long
the
as
hill.
It's not mine. It's hilarious.
As long as it's funny how bad the hill at Clemson looks without the tarp. That's the hill that they run down.
Trash.
I didn't know it was this
also,
trash.
it's no way I'm letting my team run down this hill every game.
Every game.
So somebody gets hurt. Toward my ACL, doing what? Running down the hill. Y'all don't walk down that hill and use all the energy you have to win football games. But I don't think Dabo really care about football games no more because they done win.
They're not done with Dabo. 16-year-old prospect Ethan
Done
Salas. Oh yeah, Salas made his spring training debut for the Padres. 16 years old, guys. 16.
Yep, that's just
crazy.
old enough to drive in the States. But this guy playing for the Padres.
Yeah, man. So shout out to him
And-
as well. Oh, good.
And you can't go from high school to the pros playing basketball, but you can be 16 years old where you're still technically in high school to play baseball.
I mean, and let's be
We call
honest.
those barriers to entry.
So, what nationality is Ethan Salas?
It don't matter. This is the United States of America. If you live here, you 16, I know that you have a class to be in. They
You
won't
think
even
so?
let you drop out of school that early, would?
I mean, you can.
I
Drop
don't know.
out of
Y'all
school
know I don't
whenever.
have
But
zero children. So
he's
I can't tell you. I have
16-year-old
no
catcher.
law.
I'm sorry, he's not a
no-
pitcher. He's a catcher. Pause. 16.
Yeah. Yo. But I don't care if you're 16 years old. You're not free to do what you want to do all day.
He's a
I don't
teen
know.
prodigy. Now
He's a what?
he's a teen prodigy. So okay, so
I don't care if he got internet by Prodigy. You still have to go to class until you at least that.
he's Dominican, right? So that's why I asked what's his nationality, because the joke is, do you really think that he's 16?
Okay, y'all, Reggie didn't call this man Danny Almonte. You don't remember Danny Almonte? Danny Almonte was 40 years old playing in the Little League.
Little League World Series, that boy 15,
He could
16,
dunk a
17.
basketball. He had a small family. He'd already gone pro in a different sport, and then he dominated the Little League World Series. This is basically what Reggie is saying. But this is the thing. It don't even matter how old he is now. It's just, are you good?
He in the
Really,
league
they don't
now.
care about you going
He
to school
here.
no more.
He done made it. He done made it. School, you think he was going to school up until he was 16 and made it to the major leagues?
I'm gonna
School
tell you right
been
now.
in the
if
background.
that's the case, then why did man? Then LeBron should have been able to play in the NBA at 16. Then
I mean,
he ain't better than LeBron was.
at 16? At
Yes.
16, I mean the same argument, but
No.
you're not. I don't know if you're physically able to play in the NBA at 16. Just
LeBron was.
physical standpoint. LeBron, no, bro. Well,
Yes, at 100%. At 16 years old, LeBron was strong enough to play in the NBA. You think in 2 years he just no?
no,
he
I'm
was
saying I
already
think he
in.
was 6'5" at 16, 6'4", 6'5", and then he grew to 6'8",
Probably what?
225.
Yeah, he's like 200 pounds though. 6'5", 200. You're good. You're
Yeah.
real good. You're gooder than good. Our point guard weigh 140 pounds. You talk about a man who's 6'5", 200. I don't know if he's ready. Man, what?
Hey, man. Hey, but shout out to Duque Herbert. 21-year-old signs with Detroit Tigers after striking out 3 MLB stars.
That's way to get a job right here.
Boy.
On the job. Hey, can you
They
do
struck
this?
him out. That's well. First
Smoke
off, that's
Juan Soto. Hey,
Juan Soto. That is Rodriguez. Ooh, got you.
man, he smoked Juan
And-
Soto so bad he almost fell.
Struck them out, and they won the game. That is man.
Hey, go get him right there. Go get him. He ain't never been to Detroit. He don't know what state Detroit is in.
Look at him.
He don't
The
know what part of the
Nicaraguan
country is
coaches are
Detroit is
hugging him.
in.
Yak him. 3. He struck him out on 3 pitches. By the way, y'all didn't see that. He struck him out in 7 pitches. 80-mile-per-hour changeup. No, that was a slider.
Hey,
He struck the side out in 18 pitches. That's 6
man
pitches
got
per
a
at bat.
job, boy. You know how your mama say, hey, all right, so my son here, I just want you to beat him and then see, I think he can work this job. They did the same thing with this dude. Hey, man, go out there and throw it in and see what you come back with. Well, I
Man,
struck him
listen.
out.
The
Don't
scout,
worry.
the scout was in the
they call
stands like the scouts was in the stands like, oh, y'all need to fax me the contract today. I need this right now.
He's shaking. Hey, I got one.
You got it? Yeah, he struck out
Yo,
Juan
I'm-
Soto. Oh yeah, how old is he? What? He's 21. 21.
Run the numbers on it. Run the numbers.
They came that man and said, "We'll give you 20 million." He said, "Sign, 2 million. Sign."
I'm walking down. I'm not leaving the field. Soon as that gentleman goes to the side, I'm gonna hop over the thing and I'm walking over there. Hey, I got a bag full of money here, my friend.
Got a 16-year-old and a 21-year-old. What was that movie that we watched way back when we were little? About the high school kid that broke his arm in the Rookie of the Year. When he was he broke his arm and the tendons healed too tight.
Yes.
And he was throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball at like 16. This is literally the same thing.
Was Rookie of the Year.
This is literally the same thing. This and the 16-year-old catcher.
That's not
the 16.
It at all.
Not saying that he got hurt, but I'm saying the 16-year-old catcher is 16. They made a movie and saying that's really crazy that he played at 16. This 16-year-old catcher is 16 in the Major League Baseball.
He's 16 from Dominican. His story is better than Rookie.
Oh, you said his
Netflix. Go ahead, get that. Get that one. Get both of these stories. Real talk.
Well, yeah,
HBO, y'all know y'all be fighting that.
They're gonna be getting they gotta see birth certificates. Hey,
that's more allure to this story. What are you talking about?
We need views. We don't need documentation. They got a whole Murdaugh special out and they ain't even came back guilty yet.
Yes, they did come back guilty. There are actually 2 of them, and I thought it was. You know me, I'm assuming there's no way that somebody else, that Netflix made the same documentary HBO just made. They did. They made the exact same one.
And you know who's next?
I watched both of them because it's
Hulu's right behind them.
Intriguing. Hulu they understand if we don't get it by the time that the other one get it, it's over. The third time you don't want to hear the story no more.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. You don't want to hear it 3 times. Damn, Luka Garza? We're getting beat by Luka Garza. Okay. But back to the Rookie of the Year.
We deserve it.
Shout out to the Rookie of the Year, man. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the pregame. We appreciate y'all for tuning in with us. Episode 94 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw, man. The Hawks. Look at that. We suck. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned. We will be right back. Listen to the sounds of the Splashcast 24, 36 this week?
36. And if you're a Falcons fan right now, go ahead and pour you a drink. It's going to be a long night. If you're a Falcons fan, pour you a drink in celebration. We got something.
Celebrate. At least we doing something. That's what we celebrating. We doing something. We ain't sitting here being horrible. But y'all stay tuned. We will be right back.
You should have seen how I pulled up. Your girl got an Instagram clip. 15 seconds ain't enough. We talking about a motherfucking feature film. And I heard you was mad at us. That's what I heard. Well, wait until you get a load of this. Rally Strike 71. Scratched off like a lottery ticket. Yeah, me and your bitch. Marijuana and liquor. Her favorite. Mama got good sense, but her head gang crazy. She on the bed like a stripper stage going in. She busted open like an SLS Mercedes. Do it for a G. 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 All I wanna be is all that I could be. All that I could be.
All the hustle.
That's why they fuck with me.
Do it for a G or BANDZ. Got an AK watching out for the LBI, tryna be FREE. Do it for the OG niggas in the cutlasses. Old school Chevy in the hustling. AR 15, FN, SK, busting it. Get them hoes on deck. Get them hoes on deck. Got the Benz, Porsche, got the white Rolls Royce, and the doors on there. Go. Opposite. I'm the opposite. I'm a capital G nigga. Ain't no stopping it.
Do it for a G. 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 All I wanna be is all that I could be. All that I could be. That's why they fuck with me. Coming down, papered up, and making way for us. They know we holding out. I made a plan to be the man. go and get it. That money ain't gonna wait around. Coming down.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 94 of the Splash Cast. I am your co-host, Reggie.
Welcome. I'm happy to be here. I'm your co-host, Norwood, the pod god. How you feeling today, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Shawty, you know, I feel good, look good. You know what I mean? I'm out here. You know it is. Appreciate everybody turning in to episode 94 of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw. If you have a chance and you're listening.
Doing it raw.
All right. Yeah. Okay. If you're listening to this, to the recorded version, go back and listen to the pregame if you haven't already. Tiger Woods locked his girlfriend out, is now being sued for an exorbitant amount of money, and some people celebrate on the track too soon. Go take a listen. With that being said,
sometimes you gotta lock your girlfriend out, man. That's it. Yeah, got tired of her. She gotta go home. She gotta go to her home.
So, but before we get started, man, what can the people do?
Like, follow, subscribe. Also, another 36 pack on Wednesday. If you missed the last one, go immerse yourself in that one. And by the time you really get done on that one, it will be Wednesday. The new one will be out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So y'all know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to Monday Night Raw, the Around the League edition, we talk about our HBCU news around the culture, news around basketball, NBA and college, news around football, NBA and college as well, and then our splashes of the week when necessary. I think we should actually just change it to the pregame is the splashes of the week. We'll just do it that way. Pregame splashes of the week.
On the fly. I like it.
But with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with news around the culture. More football news when it comes to a Florida school. But not what you're thinking. Something positive. Chad Johnson and FAMU have agreed that Chad Johnson will be their athletics ambassador and consultant. That sounds like more. Well, what do you think that is?
It's whatever they want. This is perfect. Wear FAMU stuff. Do things on behalf of FAMU. Or just do regular things with a bunch of FAMU stuff on. And I actually like Chad because he's actually a very good marketer. He's a very good personality. And from my understanding, he's had an affinity for FAMU and always supported the school. So I don't really think this is too much different than what he's doing.
Well, yeah, he's always said he's adopted FAMU as his like HBCU school. But like I want to know what his role will be. Like, what is he gonna? I know ambassador. I guess. Well, I'm pretty sure he's going to go. He's gonna basically, it's a sponsorship. He's gonna wear a lot of FAMU paraphernalia everywhere, I would assume. I also assume that he will be like I guess like almost like a brand ambassador. Like
exactly. That's exactly what it'll be.
I'm trying not to call him an IG model, but I mean, you know how like IG model.
Like he's not. I don't foresee him making any major decisions, but it's a way to grow the brand. Even in retirement, he's a very active player. He does podcasts. All types of different things, and he's very responsible with his money, and I'm sure he'll be responsible with the brand. So,
yeah, man, I
support
man.
Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, whatever your name may be.
We'd always supported you, man. We think, I mean, you've had some trouble in the past, but he's always owned up to who he is. So
we all have gotten in trouble once in life. Like, for the most, great guy as far as I'm concerned.
So shout out to Chad, man. Shout out to he will be marketing ambassador for both the brand of FAMU and will help with recruiting, which I kind of figured that's what that meant. That's what that meant. So shout out to Chad. Former Boston College.
Wow, Reggie. Yeah. Happy Black History Month. Nice work, Reggie. Boston College was the bad part about it.
Former,
you could have.
no, I mean, because BC is the same colors. That's what caught me.
I mean,
BC is the
you're right. It's just
So-
it's Boston College.
Former Bethune-Cookman head coach, Coach Sims, is going to join Eddie Robinson Jr. staff at Alabama State. Of course, Eddie Robinson Jr., Coach Terry Sims, he would like to thank. He definitely released a press statement thanking Bethune-Cookman. He was relieved of duties as then they had the whole Ed Reed situation. But he's now joining a great, I think, one of the more underrated staffs in black college football, Eddie Robinson Jr. Alabama State is going to be a problem next year.
I 100% agree. He keeps adding pieces to this team and to this coaching staff, and he's collecting them. He's collecting the Infinity Stones one by one.
Because of his, some say altercation, some say beef, some say standing up to, depending on your point of view. Eddie Robinson Jr., if they have a good year, could end up becoming the face of the SWAC, kind of like Deion was. I could see the SWAC promoting almost as kind of like, especially if they're good, like a FU to Deion type thing, if you feel some type of way. But he could end up being, he could end up being the face of the SWAC and being elevated to like that all time, almost like legendary status. If he could have a good year, they'll try to put him on the path to being a legendary SWAC coach, assuming that he's.
So my question is, goes out, has a great season, wins it. Let's say he wins the SWAC, and say he wins the SWAC and SWAC MEAC championship,
which they haven't done.
Power Fives call or no?
Should they call or will they call?
Study long, you study wrong.
No. Should they call or will they call?
History
tells you no. History tells you no. They will not call. And they should call. But history, because he's not a celebrity per se, right? I guess is what I'm trying to get to.
Are you looking for a celebrity or are you looking for a good coach?
What you think Colorado was looking for?
I hope they're looking for a good coach. Because if not, they paid a lot of money for a celebrity.
There weren't good coaches. So all right, we stumbled into a conversation. You think Deion was the best coach for that team? For Colorado?
Absolutely.
Do you think Deion, out of all the candidates that they could have interviewed, black and white and other, you think Deion was the best coach?
In all honesty, yes. Because he's giving them Travis Hunter, who is supposed to be the number one cornerback in the nation, and they got the number one cornerback in the nation in this year coming up. I don't know many people that could have landed Colorado those two players.
So he's a good recruiter.
That is a feat.
So do you think Deion landed them or the NIL landed them?
Deion, because Colorado doesn't have the most money. Colorado, yeah, there are other people who can pay you as much.
If you think them people showed up, well, okay, I won't say that. I will say that, but I won't make that point.
I will say that actually.
Yeah, I will say I just ain't gonna make that point. But
Come on, Perkins.
Yeah, I mean,
no, that would make me JJ Redick.
Deion was good for recruiting purposes, but as an overall coach, I don't know if he was the best.
Oh, do I think that his coaching skills are the best of what was available?
Yes,
no.
That's what I was trying to
No, I
do.
do not. No, I don't think that his coaching skills are the best of what's available. But do I think that this puts him in the best situation to be competitive? Yes.
So, yeah. So I mean,
the better coaches are not going to get the better player. That is the trade-off.
So then your question was then. Well, my question was, or my answer is, Eddie Robinson Jr. probably is a good coach that should be called out for because of his skills as a coach, especially if he has a good year this year.
Agree.
PWIs will not call him because he's not a celebrity.
Which is trash.
Which is what you asked me, do you want a good coach or do you want a celebrity? And that's why I brought up Deion. And the way that college football is now, especially with NIL and the ability to attract, I think you want more of a celebrity than a coach. Especially for a school that's not relevant. A school that's not relevant.
Then we'll move on. If Eddie George has, if Tennessee State goes undefeated, the Power Fives call?
Yeah. He's a celebrity. In the football world, Eddie George is a celebrity.
If Hugh goes undefeated, do they call?
Yeah. They call. Yeah, they'll call. For those three, yes. I think they'll call for Eddie Robinson Jr.? No slight to Eddie Robinson Jr., but no. I think Eddie Robinson Jr. would have to be a...
What about, what's his name? At Prairie View. Bubba McDowell.
I don't know. Maybe. You have more backing as an NFL...
The NFL star. He was an NFL player.
Player. I wouldn't say star. But
I'll give you that. But I think there's a... I'm not sure if they call for Eddie George. Tennessee State went undefeated. I think they'd be like, or you like.
I think they call for. I think they would call for Eddie George before they call for Eddie Robinson Jr. if they had the exact same feats and record. I think.
Oh man,
they call.
I think that Eddie Robinson Jr. could have a better record for 7 years in a row, and they will still call for Eddie George.
Yeah, because he's in the football world. Eddie George is known in the football world. I mean, he was a Heisman. Didn't he win the Heisman? At Ohio State?
Sure did. Yes, he did.
He was like the first running back in Tennessee Titans history, right?
Yeah.
And he held all their records for a long time. I mean, him and Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, if anything, he's famous for running against Ray Lewis every year. And then to go down there, I mean, yeah. They'll look for him, unfortunately. So that's the roundabout answer is they should call Eddie Robinson Jr., but they won't. He'll have to do it like 2 or 3 years in a row. The Southern University women's basketball team pulls the upset of the year. They were ranked number 4.
I figured you like this.
They were ranked, I put it in the group. They were ranked number 4, and Marcus Davenport to the Vikings. They were ranked number 4 in the SWAC tournament. They actually, I think they had a losing record, like 16-18 or something like that. Well, they go on to beat the 2-time SWAC regular season champion, defending SWAC tournament champion Jackson State Tigers, 64-63 on a buzzer beater. If you want to see it, it's right here. So she goes down the lane. 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Runner from the 3-point line. Floater. Game over. Jackson State stunned. And that's it. Look how big that girl is. Wow.
At that point. Y'all gotta play some
She's
defense.
tall. She like 6'6".
Stop the ball. My bad, man. At the end of the day, I like defense in basketball, and you just can't let the woman run down the court, right into the center, and shoot the shot at the top of the key. Well, congratulations for taking advantage of the defense and doing what you need to do and winning the championship. Congratulations, fam.
Yeah,
Buzz
man.
for you.
Shout out to Southern. And as a result, guess who they're playing first, if I'm not mistaken? Oh, you don't know? You weren't going to guess? I'll give you one guess.
I was hoping you weren't going to say South Carolina.
That is and honestly, that might be Mercy. I don't know if Dawn is going to run the score up 100 and something to 20 something against an HBCU. But you got to stop them now. You can't. They going to run their offense. but it's gonna get ugly fast. It might be 40.
You ain't gonna stop them. Let me tell you this. And it ain't your fault. It ain't none of our fault. Sometimes we just at the wrong place at the right time. Good luck and Godspeed. Hey, I hope y'all fight with the best of them. But that University of South Carolina Gamecocks women's basketball team, not to be confused with the men's basketball team. They are good.
Yeah, they are really good, and they may destroy you. Not may. They will. But I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna tune in because y'all earned it. Y'all earned the view, Sade. Howard. So again, of course, y'all know Norwood is the shoe guy. I'm not really a big shoe guy, but this is Howard's Team Jordan shoes. This is Howard's
I'm
Team
happy
Jordan
about
shoes.
this.
The Howard Bison. These are the ones, right?
Yes. This is a Jordan.
Oh, I'm sorry.
logo.
North Carolina plays Norfolk State plays South Carolina, not Southern. Sorry.
So for me, I was very concerned with this Jordan partnership that you would put the HBCUs on a back burner and basically just give them the generic Jordan stuff. It looks like they have not done that. They have made a very concerted effort to spend time to make sure that the colorways look good. Not only do they look good, but they look individual. It does not look
Southern
generic.
plays Sacred Heart.
And they spent a lot of time, it looks like, investing in this so far. I hope that at the end of the season, they will add another, hopefully at least one, maybe two or three. Hopefully, especially after Nike ends their not ends their partnership, but this will be through their first year with FAMU. I hope that they would add an HBCU too. It would be great. Yeah, that's all I got to say. But as a
So
person
how you feel
who is
about
a
the KIY
devout-
stuff?
Some
people say this is why Nike started suing KIY because they wanted the HBCU bag, right? Because it started out Texas Southern was wearing his shoes, other people were wearing his shoes. Turns out basketball and football players were wearing his shoes, and then Nike came and basically shut everything down, and then immediately you start hearing of them, and he released it. You see them in a partnership with Howard. You see them in a partnership here and there, and his started back in September. So what do you think about that?
This is confusing. It's not confusing for me, but it's difficult because Nike, and I'm a big shoe person, so the shoe that he just stole the Air Force One for all intents and purposes, just like Bape did with their shoe. There is you see the direct correlation between the Air Force One and his shoe. It is like he took the Nike check off, put a lightning bolt on.
Yeah, and the dunks too.
I respect it. I guess I do respect it. I surely do. I understand. I get it. I like old logos and stuff like that. But at the same time, when you do that, you have to understand that eventually somebody's going to send you a cease and desist. And when they send it, you must first cease and then immediately desist. But I feel conflicted in this case because he was reaching out directly to the HBCUs and they weren't. So he was fulfilling a need for a market that wasn't being supported. But this is the reason that once you get to a place, you got to do things differently or somebody going to come along and take your stuff. Because had he converted and moved over into something else, then there's an opportunity for the HBCU partnership to continue with somebody who's dealing with you from the beginning. But when you have the same shoe, you've taken everybody, you've taken all of the guesswork out of it. It's my shoe. I want it back. We're done here.
Yeah, I think that Nike saw a way to make money, and they saw that he pretty much was about to corner the HBCU market, and they decided to start doing that because
I don't think that this is money for Nike. I don't think Nike's considering or interested in money. I think what Nike is interested in is goodwill. I think they understand that going into HBCUs who've been underrepresented when it comes to specifically like Nike, Adidas, jerseys, sneakers, etc. Everybody's always looking for a way into some positive publicity. This is a very easy way for them to do it. And I mean, you can't be mad with them for doing it late, instead of never.
Yeah. Man,
tricky.
Ant Edwards is killing us. But moving on, man. Moving on. Hey, Howard, them some nice shoes.
We're
though.
dead.
Before we talk about the SWAC champions, we already talked about the women's SWAC champions. Here's the SWAC Coach of the Year. Tamika Reed was SWAC Coach of the Year for Jackson State. So shout out to her. Congratulations. They ended up being SWAC regular season champions for the second year in a row. She has that, and they were favored to basically go to the tournament. She has them pretty much working as a well-cogged machine down there. So shout out to Tamika Reed. And hopefully she gets some opportunities to move up too, if she wants to.
Yes. She's been coaching well for them. They've had a good season. I know they lost to Southern. It is what it is on that. But still, congratulations on being coach of the year.
Yeah, man. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. And then, of course, Howard University's men's basketball head coach, Kenneth Blankney, named 2022-2023 Coach of the Year. That is important because Howard won the MEAC championship.
Rectamundo.
Blankney. Now, Howard was favored all year. I believe they were number one pretty much all year long in the MEAC as well. I think they battled it out with Norfolk State over the course of the season. But shout out to Coach Blankney, man. Coach of the Year, going to the tournament, and they play Kansas in the first round. It's tough.
Rock Chalk J.O.
Well, what's interesting is they matter of fact, shout out to Tinsley.
That's what we did.
Shout out to Tinsley. He was on Around the Horn today, and they made the point of the last 4 or 5 college basketball champions haven't made it out of the first weekend of the tournament. So I heard that, and then of course Pablo was like, "So I'm picking Howard." So Howard is being picked as the upset Kansas. I don't see it happening, but the fact that they made it that far is just fantastic.
Yeah, y'all bet on Howard. I'm like the Jayhawks. Much respect. Congratulations, Coach Blankney, but yeah. Work hard for my money.
Yeah, y'all gonna get murked. And then of course Norfolk State won the women's MEAC tournament championship. And they are now going, and Southern plays Sacred Heart in the playing game. Norfolk State just got straight up playing South Carolina. So I don't know actually who got the worst. Well, I know who got the worst end of that one. I would rather play Sacred Heart than play South Carolina. But shout out to Norfolk State, man. Y'all made it.
Hey, your family gonna see you play South Carolina, though.
I mean, yeah. And then I would just say, well, y'all
say
family
nothing. Don't say nothing else. Don't say nothing else.
Be like, your family ain't gonna see you.
That's hate. That's hate. That's hate. That's hate.
That's truth. So, but shout out to Norfolk State, man. What is their thing? I always make fun of their little chant.
Behold the green and gold.
The proud, the bold, the big green and gold. Peace. It's the peace sign that gets me. Peace. But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all cool.
Man,
y'all got some cool
pirate people gang over here until the end. Ain't no end.
CIAA, Winston-Salem. Clinch go hot take. Oh.
Okay, all right. That's what's up.
All right, what's up?
No. But with that said, Winston-Salem State wins the men's basketball CIAA. Congratulations to them. Another excellent season.
Is this wrestling? This talking wrestling?
No, this is
okay. But yeah, Winston-Salem State. No, my bad. I was reading the comment. Winston-Salem State won the CIAA. CIAA is Division II, right? So they're going to the Division II playoffs, correct? The Division II tournament. They're not going to the.
What is it? I can't think of it.
It's called the Division II NCAA tournament. Division II. That's what they're going to.
You might be right.
Shout out, not the NAIA. NAIA is when you don't make it. And then, of course, Elizabeth City State University Vikings win the CIAA women's tournament. And we got to be about, they are at 140 points. They will make it, and they are going to the tournament. So shout out to Elizabeth City State as well, man. That is pretty dope, man. Shout out. I hope all
Hey,
HBCUs
shout out.
win, but they're not. But you know,
Congrats on the CIAA in Baltimore. I don't know how I feel about it, but it's definitely in Baltimore.
I mean, Charlotte was so much fun.
Ooh, we had a time.
I'm gonna let y'all know right
Yeah,
now.
that's
I
right.
will never not vote for Charlotte for CIAA. That was the place to go. And also, we want to give a shout out to Texas Southern. Texas Southern ended up winning the SWAC men's basketball championship. We talked about the women, Southern University. Texas Southern upset Grambling in the championship game. It was an upset, but it really wasn't an upset. Because
Grambling has some things going on.
well, Texas Southern has won it like the past 3 or 4 years. They just got hurt. They were hurt all year. Their best player was hurt for like half the season. He came back for the tournament. He had 25 points in the championship game, and they just couldn't stop him. And then of course Grambling had they were missing a few players because of some off the court stuff.
Oh Lord.
So we reported on it last week. We're not gonna talk about it again. You know, that's it. But with that being said,
Go ahead
let's
to the
ta-
sky.
you know, people always call black people paranoid because we always say we have to fight against not just the opponent or against the competition. We have to fight against the judgment and the bias from those in power plus the competition. Mississippi Valley State played the University of New Orleans in baseball. It was the bottom of the ninth. I think they were down 7-4 or something like that. And the umpire was so egregious in his called last two strikes that against Mississippi Valley State that they ended up having to suspend him. Now,
Indefinitely.
indefinitely fired, meaning
Not a suspension of, hey, 1 game, 2 game, 3 game. Hey, we need you to go home. We'll call you and we need you to come back.
now.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, because this is something I saw on the internet. I'm scrolling. I see this and I'm like, whoo, that first one is bad. Whoo.
Here's the
second
first one.
Even worse.
The first one is bad. And you would think
That's
I'm
low.
gonna pause it right here. You would think with us talking about HBCUs being treated unfairly, having to play against a PWI, balls and strikes that are definitely not balls nor strikes. You think if you put all 4 of that pieces of information together, you would assume the ethnicity of the umpire. The way that it's set up, right? Nah, this umpire's black. He's black, y'all. But keep playing. We're going to keep going. So there's the first one. And he's pointing at it. He's like, yo, this is crazy. This is the second pitch. Look at the second pitch. Oh, my God. They called that. And look, the catcher was about to throw the ball back. And he was like, no. And they went and stopped him like, nah, don't do it. Because there was about to be some hands and feet put on that umpire.
See,
There's about to be some hands and feet.
So there are a few
I'm going to let that
different
rock. We could talk
things.
about it. I'm going to let the video rock again so that y'all can make sure y'all see this BS.
that was
Okay?
clearly below his knees. Clearly below his knees, without a doubt. My thing with this is I don't even want to let race play in this. At the end of the day,
It's not race
you
because he's
did
black.
yes, but you did a terrible job of this. If this is you officiating, you do not need to come back in. Especially that last pitch. The last pitch is so egregious, and you could tell homeboy want to hit him with the bat.
Yeah, that's why they went and grabbed it real
He's
quick. Like,
man,
nah. Yeah, also, I didn't realize that
hit you
referee
real
ain't-
quick, fam.
That ref ain't small
And-
either. So, yeah, you
and-
probably need that bat.
And it was terrible. I'm glad. And the bad part is the pitch starts out. You can see it's below his knee. You know exactly what the batter's box is. You know the strike zone. So that there's not a question in this from any angle that both of these were bad balls. These weren't even like close. It's not like he painted the plate and then you're like, all right, well, give him a little bit. No, both of these are terrible pitches.
And you know it's unfortunate? I actually got a real problem. I'm about to go off for a little bit. this diminishes for UNO a win, right? It was 7-3. It was a good win, but this diminishes the game and what UNO did. Lost. And then 2, when I say diminishes just from a celebratory standpoint, but also from a validity standpoint. If he's making these bad calls in the last 2 pitches of the game, what were all of his calls like during the game, right? Because if I'm Mississippi Valley State, I'm arguing that this game should be thrown out because there's no way that this is my first point. I'm gonna go off by the second one though. There's no way that the rest of the game can't be in question if the pitching he called balls and strikes this bad. Look at the bench. The bench is laughing. I'll let you respond to that before I go off about how nasty ESPN is. Y'all nasty, boy. I can't wait.
This is just disappointing. I mean, whatever it is, you need to own up to it. At least say, hey, man, I had a bad game. I didn't give it my best this time. And I'll do better. Give them some coach talk. But to walk off like that, and you as a player, you can't do anything. I would say the manager should go out there and probably,
they did
him a new one, but
so this is why I'm about
to
go.
The game is
off.
over at that point.
I can't remember if it was ESPN or Bleacher Report or one of them large sports entities. I think it was ESPN though, because I thought I commented on it. I said, "Dang, that's nasty." They released another tidbit today with UNO play because they played again today or yesterday. And Mississippi Valley State got beat 31-3 by UNO. That'd be 31-3. And they said team that argues balls and strikes. UNO beats team that argues balls and strikes 31-3 or whatever. Almost like releasing the responsibility off the umpire and saying that it really wouldn't have mattered because y'all were gonna get beat bad anyway. That was nasty to me, boy.
That is low hanging fruit. That's trash. I don't care if I was gonna beat. Let me get beat. You can't. No. Now I do understand University of New Orleans. They have to, first of all, school is UNO, University of New Orleans. But also
UNO, yeah.
You gotta beat them kind of like that the second time. Hey man, it was out of my control what happened with the umpire. But one thing I will let y'all know before y'all leave this baseball diamond is we came to win. We are better.
We are better.
I don't really hate. I don't want y'all to get it confused and think, oh man, them couple of strikes right there at the end of the game. No, we're just better. That's what you got to do sometimes. But all of this could have been avoided, and they probably might not have lost 30-3. The umpire just calls balls and strikes.
Yeah, man. Umpire, you suck. I would never go to that game, but I'm going to tell y'all a game I would go to, though. This one right here. This is Grambling State's women's softball team. Softball team. You really shouldn't have to say women's softball team. Softball team. Dugout.
Men's softball team.
Exactly. In the swag. So here we go. Listen, take a listen. Ball in the dirt. Ball in the dirt. This like beating on the table at lunch.
Can we get a little bit more volume on that?
We don't want that pitch. Ball in the dirt.
But one thing for sure, this dugout is
lit. Well. Look at my man. My man holding the 2 sodas. Like, it's 2 drinks in the club in the background.
I'm not going to lie, though. As the batter, I am destroyed.
And I'm the pitcher
bouncing. Hey, man, I'm trying to focus.
Well, they had somebody on third. This must be working. They had somebody on third. Yeah. This must be working.
This reminds me of the dudes from last week freestyling.
Freestyling. See, Hey. Y'all be asking what the HBCU experience is. We done showed somebody freestyling, commentating a basketball game. We now have a whole team.
The swim meets.
Swim.
There's a fundamental difference And I know Dion is trying to take that to Colorado State and replicate the sauce, but these herbs and spices came from the ancestors. You can't get these from nowhere else.
You not gonna get this at UNC or Vanderbilt.
Genetically modify this. This sauce comes directly from the bloodline, and you can't get that from nowhere else except for where it came from. So congratulations to not only Grambling, but like I said, the guys who called the game last week. And before that, of course, once again, an excellent shout out to the Howard University swim team. But this can't be duplicated. This cannot be replicated. This came from one place and one place only. Historically Black colleges and universities. And while we're here, take a minute, send a couple dollars to your favorite HBCU. Of course, support the blue and white Hampton University.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. So we had to end it on a high note, man. Shout out to Grambling. We've shout out Howard. Like I said, we talk about everybody. The experience is lit at any HBCU game. We're going to get these basketball games lit too, especially when Howard goes out there and upsets Kansas. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the basketball segment. Of the HBCU segment, News Around the Culture of episode 94 of the Splashcast. We are going to take about 30 seconds, then we'll jump right to basketball, then we'll wrap it up with football. Y'all stay tuned.
Hey, before we get out of here, like I said, support HBCUs and be responsible about the people you're dating, unlike Tiger Woods. Peace.
$30 million.
I play with the Punani with my reins on. She came on. Yeah. 4 rollies and 2 APs, that's how you know I miss you. Yeah. Young bad bitch, I just spoil her cause she mine. She fucking on a lit nigga, fucking a rich nigga. Yeah.
4 rollies, 2 AP, Young Rich nigga como Mbappé. Young Rich nigga, mírame el pate. Young Rich nigga buscándome un check. Carro en foreign y no estés. No soy de medallo, pero estoy blessed. Block 42 y no es de sex. GL, SUV, el jet. 4 rollies, 2 AP, Young Rich nigga como Mbappé. Young Rich nigga, mírame el pate. Young Rich nigga buscándome un check. Carro en foreign y no estés. No soy de medallo, pero estoy blessed. Block 42 y no es de sex. GL, SUV, el jet. Volaba en el G5, esto es Louis V, no Levi. Duro en España como un Ibai, tomando titanes como Capitán Levi. Yo tengo esa grasa arriba, no los veo de ser libre y light. Young Got Winchester DY, no confío en nadie, solo mi mind. Yeah. Tengo a Biden en la muñeca, esta roleta es presidencial. Vengo a mi madre en la calle, le dicen Sol María, guau, ese niño especial. Ella se pasma a veces, pero sabe que solamente le hablan la real. Téngase campo jugando un par de hoyos con Mateo, estoy tirando papá. Él está cabrón como Dios me cuida cuando lo que hago es pecar. Pero él conoce mi corazón, estamos claro cristal. Hablan de mí y no saben de mí, no me va a afectar. Si llevan como 3 años diciendo que van a apretar. 4 rollies, 2 AP, Young Rich nigga como Mbappé. Young Rich nigga, mírame el pate. Young Rich nigga buscándome un check. Carro y foreign y no estés. No soy de medallo, pero estoy blessed. Block 42 y no es de sex. GL, SUV, el jet. 4 rollies, 2 AP, Young Rich nigga como Mbappé. Young Rich nigga, mírame el pate. Young Rich nigga buscándome un check. Carro y foreign y no estés. No soy de medallo, pero estoy blessed. Block 42 y no es de sex. GL, SUV, el jet.
White on white, I don't need a ghost rider. Rolls Royce, Snow White. Cap in the paddock, I'm cap in the rolling, young rich nigga. Pretty the one I adore. Hundreds of thousands or more. I'm spending galore. Copping new diamond for sure. Spending new money for sure. 680 Maybach for sure. Do what I say, that's for sure. Took margaritas and play by the shore for the one I adore.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 94 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. Monday Night Raw, as Norwood says. Actually, no. We're just going to stop that statement right there and move on to the basketball segment, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few things we're going to talk about
Didn't say anything,
today.
ladies and gentlemen, though. Yeah, blame that on Reggie. I don't know what that was, but it was not me. But I'm happy y'all are here for episode, what is this, 94? You're
90
right, me and
fizzle.
Reggie get closer and closer to what? Episode 100. We will be there. We will have the patronacy. And until then, always remember, like, follow, subscribe.
Follow,
Splashcast.
subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe. 1 hour and 13 minutes. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, with the basketball segment, let's start out with Embiid. Before we even say anything, who is your MVP right now? On the spot.
It's close. But it's been Embiid. Even when Joker won last year, I thought Embiid was the better player. I think Joker to me is always third because he doesn't play any defense. So I always go, to me, it's more of a battle between Giannis and Embiid. Joker's lack of ability to play any defense frustrates me, especially when you see teams just start taking advantage of him, go like 9 or 32 against him for the game. And you watch him play defense, he is not even attempting to block a shot.
Joker, he is inconsequential. He's just in the way.
He's moving. I've seen his defense be that.
You know what's funny?
It's one thing to be. Go ahead.
You know what's funny that I thought about? That whole plays at their pace. That's what they say for slow people. Not slow people as in mentally. Slow athletically. Don't have swift feet. They say they play at their pace. Luka, Joker, Kyle Anderson, they don't ever get sped up. Oh, that sounds good on offense. When you play at your own pace on defense, you get cooked. And Joker be getting cooked out there, dog. He be getting cooked.
You can play at that pace. We're gonna play at this much accelerated pace over here, and that's fine if you want to play slower when we're on defense. We have no issues with that. We would actually suggest it if you want to play. If you don't have to play defense at all, and I think Joker takes that to heart. I'm telling you, when I saw them just go right at him, and he was just.
I mean, what you gonna do? I'm averaging a triple double. I can't average a triple double every night. I get a triple double every night and play defense.
Bro, you're 8 feet tall. You can do this. I'm not asking you to do anything but put your hands up. He put his hands down. He moved out of the way.
I'm just saying, if I'm Joker, you have to shut the fuck up about defense. I am the reason that we the number one team. In the West.
Okay. You know what I'm gonna tell you? You need to shut the fuck up about MVPs.
Fair.
As long as Giannis over there flying
around
like a condor.
Or does he? Because he's won 2 in a row. Why does he have to shut the fuck up? He won 2 in a row. He's played no defense. This no defense ain't new. This new defense ain't new.
Yeah. You're right.
They're trying to give it to him this year, even though Embiid is averaging like 30-some points a game again. But the whole point of this segment was Embiid. Kendrick Perkins has been listening to the Splashcast because we've been talking about Embiid being Embiid Olajuwon for the last 2 since episode 2. But let's play it real quick.
Do you have a word for the 76ers and Joel Embiid?
I just dropped the book, The Education of Kendrick Perkins, and yes, I do. I do have one. Phantasmagorical, okay? And you know what that means, Malika? No. It means dreamlike. It means dreamlike. And that's exactly what I've been saying. As growing up in Houston and being an Olajuwon fan, I see dream in Joel Embiid. That's who I see. Olajuwon 2.0. You talk about.
I don't even hear nothing else. We have said that for 2 years. We have called Joel Embiid, and I always give credit because I shouted you out in the group. Ludacris, a.k.a. Chris Norwood, said it in episode like 2 or 3, and I said, oh, that actually fits really well for Joel Embiid. He does play. He has more moves on the block than anybody else in the league. Embiid Olajuwon. Now, we're not saying he's as...
Have y'all watched that little highlight cut of Joel Embiid playing like a 6'3" guard? There is not a move in the tool belt that he does not have. Behind the back, through the middle, spin around, shoot the 3, fade. Joel Embiid is the equivalent of a 7-foot guard. And Yes.
that plays
I
like a
saw
big
Embiid
man.
Elijah
That's the
Moore.
difference, though. He
Yes.
plays like a big man. All y'all other 7-foot
Yes.
guard wannabes are trying to play like Kevin Durant. There's only one Kevin Durant. You can't teach what Kevin Durant got. You're not gonna be able to get what Kevin Durant got unless you put in 10 times more work than Kevin Durant does. Just because Kevin Durant is 7 feet and has the guard handles. You ain't got that most 7-footers. Why not try to be Embiid? Embiid just throw his weight around.
And a top tier rim protector. Top tier rim protector.
Yep.
Joker's game is cool. But there are two things. Number one, it really hasn't gotten him very far. And number two, he plays no defense. I respect defense. I know a lot of people don't care about that anymore. But you have to play defense or your team is going to give up 140 points.
Like the Hawks did tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves with no
Karl Anthony Towns.
No Karl Anthony Towns. And we were full strength and we gave up 140 points. First off, we'll move on because Kendrick Perkins and JJ Redick got into it. But I just wanted to make sure y'all know that Embiid Olajuwon came from the Splashcast. Anthony Edwards, this is the first time I've ever seen DeAndre Hunter overwhelmed. He destroyed DeAndre Hunter this game. Destroyed him.
Plays too active.
He dunked on him. He shot 2 fadeaway threes to end the game. Well, to make the Hawks get subbed out.
Yeah, I was about to say the game is.
I cut
the game off at half.
He was just out of his mind. But anyway,
I also think that team is checked out. If I've been telling y'all anything that I've told y'all all season, y'all may not believe nothing else. The Hawks do not like each other. They're ready to be away from each other. I know what that looks like, and that is what we have.
Yeah,
Good
DeJounte
luck to
Murray
Quinn
looked
Snyder.
frustrated. Yep. But hey, man, JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins got into a heated debate. Now, I'm sure y'all have seen it, but I'll play a clip of it just so that y'all can be refreshed.
Why didn't he never bring up this in particular subject? When it comes down to guys winning MVP since 1990, it's only 3 guys that won the MVP that wasn't top 10 in scoring. Do you know who those 3 guys were?
Who were they?
Steve Nash, Jokic, and Dirk Nowitzki. Now,
Dirk Nowitzki.
what do those guys have in common? I'll let it sit there and marinate. You.
Can I ask a question? What is he implying right now?
That white guys that get MVP awards that they don't deserve.
Okay, hit play for me, please.
You think about it. Now, here's the thing. Why didn't he?
I want to just say
Let
something.
JJ back give
Stephen
back
A.,
the
I mean no offense to you, and I mean no offense to First Take, because I think
Pause it.
is extremely.
If somebody tells you I don't mean any offense to you, and I don't mean any offense to ESPN, well, there is another person who is here, he surely means offense to that person. I want
he
to
about to go
clarify
off.
who
Yeah,
I'm here to offend.
I am talking
and it
to
is not
you.
ESPN, and it is not you, Stephen A. Smith. I'm here to offend one person, and that is the gentleman on his left, on our right. Proceed, please.
Valuable. It is an honor to be on this desk every day. It really is.
That
But
boy
what
said,
we've just
"Here's my
witnessed
wallet.
is the
me my
problem
bail."
with this show, where we create narratives that do not exist in reality. The implication, what you are implying, that the white voters that vote on NBA are racist, they favor white people. You just said that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That is exactly what you implied, Kendrick Perkins. That is exactly what you implied. Secondly, hold on.
I did not call. I stated the facts. And you're not about to sit up.
We all know what you implied the other day. We all know what you implied just now. Hold on.
I stated
One at a time.
it's the facts.
One at a time.
It's the facts. It's the facts.
Okay.
I want to just say
Let
something.
JJ back gives.
So, and they ended up going back and forth for a little bit. But
He
So
never bring up.
I'm conflicted. Number one, you can't, and this is me, I consider myself a person who is pretty good at
right up my
art
alley.
of
I'm ready.
conversation.
I'm ready. Go ahead, brother. Right up my alley.
You can't just yell out, "These are the facts," as your opinion or as your counter. Now, where he could have won this, and this would have been a very quick defeat for Perkins if he was really good at this. Just address the true elephant in the room. The NBA loves a narrative, right? All of these MVP awards have some type of narrative behind them. Majority of times, I feel like at least 80% of the time, you can guess or very early in the season who the NBA wants to be the MVP. If you come at it from that point of view, it removes race out of it, but it does keep that there is a storyline or a plot here that is going behind whatever is actually happening. And you could have stayed in the clear. But your implication without any basis, you just look like a fool yelling, "These are the facts."
Well, so I challenge that because he spit 3 facts at first. He didn't really say anything else on purpose. But his 3 facts were only 3 times, and since 1990 has an MVP not been a top 10 in scoring, rebounding, and something else. And he named the 3 times. The 3 times
out of the 3
happened to be 3 people that looked the same, but also, especially with Joker and Steve Nash, I'm not really familiar with 2007, who should have won the MVP. I mean, in 2007, you had LeBron and Carmelo and Kobe all playing out of. I think Kobe was playing out of his mind.
Isn't that Mavericks championship year?
2011. That was the first year of the Heat when he won the championship. 2007 was when they were ranked the number 1 team in the NBA, but I think the Spurs won it when they beat LeBron, who took the Cavs and beat the defending, and not the defending. That was 2004. No, that was 2007. Yeah, the Spurs. Spurs. Because Tony Parker won MVP of the finals. So they beat LeBron. That's when LeBron took the Cavs the first time to the NBA finals after beating the Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals, where he scored 30-something points in a row.
So my objection to that is if you want the MVP to be right, then it should just be Jordan for 100 years in a row, LeBron for 100 years in a row, throw a few Kobe's and Shaq's in there, and then we're done here. If that's what we
that's
really
not that's
want,
not that's not true. That's not fair. That's not true. That's not. I could give you. That's not true. That's not true.
Wait, so you're telling me that Jordan should not have won the MVP damn near every year he played?
Jordan, yes. Jordan there was nobody on Jordan's level. Nobody. When you say LeBron still had Kobe. LeBron still had, when LeBron came in 2003, he had D Wade. He had Carmelo. There were other players on his level. There was nobody on Jordan's level in the 90s. Not one person, except for baby Charles Barkley.
During the LeBron era, LeBron should have, he played what, how many years?
20.
He should have 10 MVPs.
10?
In them seasons?
10?
Yes.
10.
Out of his career, half of his career.
Well, yeah. I mean, because 20, because that basically nullify his.
Yeah.
No, that would nullify his 7 years. But let me get back to my point about Kendrick Perkins before we get there. Those 2 years, 2 of those 3 players that we're talking about, I think LeBron probably should have won in 2007. So let's say all 3 players. I don't know anybody to this day that thinks Steve Nash should have won his MVPs. I don't know anybody.
I'm not debating that one, dog. I'm out on that one.
There's only 3. You're not debating the third.
I'm giving that. Just like that pitch. Did the umpire called it was clearly a ball? That's a ball. I'm not losing my integrity for Steve Nash. Hell no.
Okay. Well, then Joker last year, Embiid he led the league in scoring. He was the scoring champ, and he was second team all defense. I believe. Kev, check me if I'm wrong. I think he was second team all defense. Come on, man.
I was.
And then they said Joker won it.
Trained last year.
So that's 2. That's 2 of the 3 that the point Kendrick Perkins is making. 2 of those 3 people.
But that's actually. But Joker has 2 MVPs, so that's 2 different seasons.
Yes.
So the first one you think he should have won?
Yeah, I guess if he was top 10 in scoring, yeah, sure.
Reggie don't care. What is it?
No, it's not that I don't care, but that's not part of Perkins' point. Perkins' point is there's only been 3 times that somebody has won the MVP with not being top 10 in points and rebound or something like that. That was his point. So the point is, yeah, Joker was that the first time. The second time, he was not that. And his point was Embiid should have won it. And the other one was Kobe or Shaq should have won Steve Nash's. And now
Shaq for sure.
No, he got one. Steve Nash got 2. Steve Nash got 2 MVPs.
No, I'm not.
One is Shaq and one is Kobe.
On nothing.
But what I'm saying is, Perk's point is valid. I do agree with you that he dropped the ball by saying, yeah, that was the narrative that was created. Because the narrative in 2007, now that I think about Tony Parker winning the Finals MVP, that was the first time European players had ever done that. Won an MVP and won the Finals MVP. And now you see NFL 20 years later.
No, there's a story behind the MVP.
There's always a narrative. There's always a narrative. So that's where Perk should have gone.
I mean, at the end of the day, I always have thought that Embiid is better than Joker. It's also now, this is the other part. This is the reason that there's such an uproar is Joker doesn't win anything in the playoffs.
He
MVP.
disappears. Yeah, he disappears every year.
And yes, if they had won more this year, if they won more last year in the playoffs, this would not be if they had gone to like a Western Conference Finals or something like that, there would not be any issue. But what the NBA is doing, and it looks like they're kind of setting themselves up to do it again, even though I think the NBA is kind of forcing their hands, is if they pick Joker to be the MVP again and they go out early, you're gonna have to change. Something is going to have to change. You can't keep getting put out in the first round and you be the best player in the NBA. You can't get your team nowhere.
Well, two things are happening. The opposite, and I was thinking about this for a long time, but it was said today. The opposite is happening. Last year, Embiid was the clear-cut favorite all the way to the end of the year when Philly faltered. Right now, according to the polls and everything, Joker was the clear-cut favorite for MVP. They're number 1 in the West. He's averaging a triple-double. All blase, blase, blah. Until the end of the year where now they're starting to falter a little bit. And Embiid is the one who's turned it up for the end of the year. So I think
Joel Embiid is saving them.
One, I think that's happening. And then 2, I don't know. It'd be hard not to give it to Joel right now. Joel is pretty much putting the 76ers on his back. And like him and James Harden. And everybody else, y'all just get out the way. That little 2-man fast break they run with Joel following James Harden down the lane, I think they've run it probably 150 times, and I think they've scored a dunk 150 times this year. But I don't think Perk was calling JJ Redick was. Do you think Perk was calling people racist? Because I think that was such
the other part about
a reach
that
for JJ.
Is you got to make sure that the demographics for the voters is skewed. And I'm not sure how skewed it still is. Because if I remember correctly, like you have, like former basketball players that vote, you have media members. And I know that the NBA tries to diversify that as much as possible. I couldn't imagine that the vast majority of these are. Yeah, I would assume they would at least try to do close to half.
I'm also going to throw another nugget in there. No pun intended. That really was no pun intended, so I thought about it. Yao Ming always finished in the top 3 to 5 in MVP voting every year, even towards the end of his career when he really wasn't playing. Why? Because all of MVP China was voting for Yao Ming.
All-Star. Humans don't get any votes for it.
Oh, yeah, no, that's All-Star. Well, they never.
But it's still the same thing. Same thing.
So I mean, even for All-Star, although that nullifies my point because there's no way that
They have no influence over you.
yeah, they have no influence. I was gonna say all of China's voting for him the same way all of where is Joker from? He's from Serbia? No, I don't know.
And also not that many people.
Depending on where he's from, that's why it stopped. So
you hear the Serbs come in and make an influence on the NBA? Yeah, we finna hit these boats. We really finna turn it up on Serbia out here.
Couple mil. China like we got a bill, bro. China got $1 billion. But oh yeah, let's move on. So I do think Joel MVP will be. Oh, before we move on, what you think about the NBA and that new rule that they're trying to pass? You have to play a certain amount of games in order to get the MVP.
I like it, but you are. I hope the CBA understands what they're doing. They're backing themselves into quantifying a season, how many games are in a season. They're gonna do this just like music does. Need this many tracks to making an album. I see it from a mile away. You're getting backed into quantifying seasons. If you don't play with so many games, specifically.
That's what they're trying to do. They're addressing all of it is load management, all of that stuff.
But if you're a player, you want to stay away from that.
Do you?
I mean, want to.
Well, what you're really saying is your contracts are going to change. Because all them incentives to win MVP for players like Kevin Durant and load management, all that goes out the door.
That comes with a game kicker. That means you have to play X amount of games to even be, because you get a kicker for winning the MVP. So now that means that you have to play a minimum amount of games to even qualify. Which, if they're going to give you a kicker for getting the MVP, then they're definitely going to try to find a way to get some money back if you don't play a minimum amount of games.
And then my counter to that would be, okay, well, then if I play enough games to qualify for the MVP, then y'all need to pay me a bonus. Like that would be mine.
No, that's your job. What? Reggie? No. Your job is to come to work. Reggie, if you come to work 100% of the days, does your job pay you more for coming to work every day on time?
I'm not the Kevin Durant in my job. If Kevin Durant says, okay.
Yes, you are. I didn't talk to you about your job plenty of times. You are Kevin Durant. Hey, dog, you 17.
I appreciate it.
You hit that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I am not. I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate the love. I ain't got enough talent or
nobody want to be Kevin Durant at work. Nah, I'm Gorgon Dragic. I'm Dragic, dog.
I show up on time. I hit my incentives. I don't complain, and that's it. Kevin Durant, Kyrie. Hey, no, I can't take that. I can't just say load management and be off for 3 months. No,
hey,
ain't gonna happen.
Well, hold on, wait. Now we're here. And for the Splash Cast, are you KD or are you Kyrie?
For here?
Yeah.
I don't want to be either. I don't want to be either here. On the Splash Cast, I would be hell no.
Well, no, we need you to come to work, so you can't be Kyrie.
Yeah, I'm about to say I can't be Kyrie. I got to be healthy. So I can't be KD. Hell.
Can we go to the video of Kevin Durant?
No, we can go to the video of a Ja.
No, oh, I forgot about that. All right, don't look in the corner. Look at that right there. I missed that part. I forgot about it.
What?
Des Bryant's basically alluding to what we all know to be true. Yes, Ja was wrong for what he did as far as posting the gun on social media. I'm not going to beat him up about it. You know, you've made the mistake. Now, at this point, we don't judge you off the mistake. We judge you on what happens post-mistake. But releasing the video cameras
nasty.
Of the man in the strip club,
nasty.
that is filthy. That is dirty. That is nasty. That is sickening. If you were a patron of this place, and I'm not going to name the name of the place because I do know it, I would never spend another dime there. And I'm going to tell you one thing for sure. They do not care about your discretion. They do not care about you. And they will take advantage for the smallest amount of money, and they sold it to the New York Post.
Come on, man.
Congratulations on being trash.
Man. What did I say? Because, okay, y'all know that we have, like, production meetings. We have a group chat and all that. I was like, don't take this the wrong way. I'm not implying anything. But the strip club. Oh,
come on, Big Bird.
Yeah, it is what it is. The strip club is, when you talk about profession, and you were to talk about different professions, the strip clubs fall into the sex worker profession, right? Entertainer, sex worker, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The people that go to strip clubs, unless they shooting a video, don't want to be seen or videos released at the strip club. Ja Morant got a whole room with nobody else in there. First of all, before we do that, look at the floor. That's all money. That's all.
Now, I'm going to tell you, this
all money.
Is a time, and you know what? I'm probably going to be on the wrong side of this. I think that at least once in your life, you should have this experience.
Whoever doesn't believe that, you have not lived a life. Because that is 100%.
You should at least have this experience one time. And
I ain't that rich.
Who knows what this man would no. Everything that looks white from here is money. You know how
money.
They say the floor is lava, the floor is money. But he is discreetly enjoying some time in the strip club. And if you've ever been to a strip club, this is super rule number 1. No cameras. And then why would you do this? Number 2, this is extremely frustrating. And this is just loser behavior.
It's very short-sighted.
I hope this
is very short-sighted.
This place goes out of business. I hope that they cannot keep the doors open because they don't know any parts of discretion. This is embarrassing.
From a business standpoint,
I would be thoroughly embarrassed.
From a business standpoint, this is very, very short-sighted. Was my second point. It's very, very short-sighted. If you are on an establishment that values discretion, as Des Bryant said, whoever owned the strip club sold that video for self-benefit, you've sabotaged, you've made $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 here. And we don't know everybody's situation. But I would rather have the reputation.
At night, so
I would rather have the reputation of you did all of that stuff here, and we ain't released nothing. We ain't released nothing. We keep everything here. We keep everything in house. Everything is safe. Everything is. I'd rather have that because then everybody gonna come here if we come to Denver, right? This is in Denver. Everybody gonna come to this strip club if we come to Denver because you know that ain't nothing gonna be released. Now, any athlete, they're gonna have the All-Star game there soon. They're gonna have all of this stuff there. I'd never go to that strip club ever. Ever.
And there are 2 things here. If I'm at Zaxby's or if I'm at church, don't release the security footage unless you need to show footage of me doing something or not doing something. In this case, I was doing what patrons do in there. Wherever I am, don't just be releasing security footage of me doing nothing. That makes no sense to me. And it's enough of this. Oh, my other point was I saw a lot of different athletes, entertainers give a huge shout out to Magic City and Magic for what they do over there with their discretion and allow people to have a good time. Because that's all it really is. Having a time in a club discreetly. If you've ever been to a strip club, you figure that out pretty quickly. And kudos to the Atlanta nightlife for giving people the opportunity to do that on a regular basis. Hence, that's one of the reasons that people love the city of Atlanta. Houston, too. We don't care.
Hey, man.
But we care about this, boy.
Oh, my God. And
we'll start this over. So Malik Monk just got spicy in pregame.
When you got going, obviously there later in the fourth, you were cheerful.
Life, man. I know what he's gonna do. I know how to say something to get him turned on too. So, whoa, come on.
That definitely is a whoa-able moment too. Like whoa.
Yeah, hey, yo, my friend. So the reason that this is funny is they played college basketball together at Kentucky, and they know each other very well. I understand the message that he was trying to communicate, but you start moving too fast, then you say something like that, and it's gonna stop the world in its tracks. This was funny. De'Aaron Fox and Malik Monk, hilarious. Congratulations to the Kings, too.
Yeah, man. And the Kings, so keeping it with the Kings, man, the Kings, we laughed at them. You remember that episode? We laughed at the Kings fans.
Oh, we did not.
Yes,
no, we did not. I told you all season. I said the Kings.
You said all season. All season. All season. Oh, yeah. This was during Summer League. We laughed at them. I remember because we both laughed. So you can try to know I didn't. I told you all you want to after the season started. Summer League, we laughed at this. Knicks too. Kings fans, after their Summer League win, we're getting 40 wins this year. And everybody made fun of them. And they're number 2 in the West.
Congratulations, Kevin Huerter. You got out of this ship when it first started sinking. We thought you were going to be the last man left. We thought you got played going to Sacramento. How wrong we were. The Kings are a team that I've liked all season. I like Domantas Sabonis. I knew that De'Aaron Fox was a good passer. Kevin Huerter's had the chance to grow his role. He said some different things about his time at the Hawks and accountability this last couple of days. It's very interesting.
What'd he say?
But at the end of the day, he says in the last 5 years, this is the first team that's had basically accountability for all players.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know. Yeah, basically that's shot at Trey.
Yeah. And, I mean, he has 2 players who like to pass the ball. And, you know, one thing we did like about Huerter is he knows his role. He doesn't really try to step outside of his role. I think that going to Sacramento, a place with low expectation, has allowed him to grow his confidence. And I think he's stepping into becoming a really good basketball player.
Yeah, he definitely is, man. I will say he has cooled off. He started off just shooting 58% from 3. But after the All-Star game, he's down.
Cooled off, and I'm on the second best team in the West. That's fine. Winning. Yeah, winning is what I want. And, I mean, even if you look at Cam Reddish, now that he has minutes to play, he's been scoring consistently. I think that, unfortunately, more of these players are going to see that, hey, I might be able to go somewhere else, have a better time.
Yeah, JC out of there. Where do we want to go?
Running out of there.
Where do we want to go from here? Do we want to see the bloopers?
Nah,
before we do that, shout out to Russell Westbrook, man. For all the hate that he gets, he has surpassed Isaiah Thomas for 9th all-time in assists. For everybody that has something to say about Russ, man, he consistently shows up and plays hard, man, and he's one of the more durable basketball players. So shout out to Russ, man. That is definitely
and you're right. He's just gotten kind of kicked over the last 4 or 5 years. And some of it is some of his own responsibility. I'm not going to absolve him from that at all. But a guy who is your constant competitor, no matter what team that he's played for, he's played hard.
And he's there, man. And it's something that everybody wants you on their team. Like, about your character. I ain't gonna say about your play because we still stand by DeRozan. But
we got questions.
But for your character and playing, that's tough, man. So shout out to Russ. And then of course, Jimmy Butler, pretty much Spoelstra basically just said, get Jimmy Butler open. I don't care if you know the play. Get Jimmy Butler open, and of course Jimmy Butler get him open. Talking to Bam. Get him open. Jimmy Butler gets the ball on the wing. Jimmy Butler don't have no moves, dog. He just
wins. That is his only move.
Just wins. Win. And then he humiliates you. He pointed at you. So that was interesting, man. Spoelstra just said, I know where my bread is buttered. Give the ball to Jimmy Butler. So shout out to Jimmy.
Wait, do you trade? Hold on. How much is Jimmy getting paid? Oh, you can't do that. I was gonna see if you could do Collins and Capella for Jimmy.
No. Why would you do that?
Oh,
with
it
Bam?
does work.
And you would keep Bam?
Right. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
Clint for 3 years. You know what? You would probably can't do a Kongwu either. But I could see them wanting to move on from Bam, and I know that they're interested in John Collins.
Why
I don't
they
know
just
what else
paid
we would
Bam?
give.
Why would they want to move on from Bam and they just paid him?
No. No. I meant Jimmy. And a Kongwu. So what I was saying was maybe Collins and Bogey for Jimmy.
And play him what at
and a
the 3?
pick.
Play him at the 3. So where would you?
Well, I
so
mean, I
then,
think
so
they
are
have-
you giving up on DeJounte?
No. I mean, my thing with the Hawks is I don't think they want a big 4. I think that they want a Sadiq Bey type of guy. So you might as well move Hunter to the 4.
But the money wise, you paying Hunter, aren't you paying him $20 million a year? $15 million a year.
No, that's like 20. Well, yeah. So you might as well put Hunter at the 4. No, leave Clint at the 5, Hunter at the 4, Jimmy at the 3, DeJounte at the 2, Trey at the 1. I mean, I that's what I understand the Hawks to want. I think that they want a 3-and-D guy who can stand in the corner and shoot threes. That's not John
Jimmy.
Collins.
That's not Jimmy. That's not Hunter either.
I mean, well, that will be Hunter's role. Would have to.
That's not what Hunter does. He can, but he doesn't do that. He's Melo. He trains with Melo. He don't pass the ball. He gets to the block, does his move, and shoots. Jimmy gets paid.
I don't know what the
$45
Hawks.
million.
I don't know who gets $45 million.
Somebody. I don't know what Kev talking about. But go ahead.
No, but for me, I don't think that the Hawks want a guy who's a standard 4 anymore. I see they look happier when Sadiq Bey is on the floor minus the defense, but it looks like they don't care about defense. So if you don't care about defense, then I guess you can go with Sadiq Bey at the 4, but we're gonna get killed on the boards. Or Clint.
Yeah. But, I mean, it is what it is. Speaking of the Hawks, we played the Celtics, and Marcus Smart and Trae Young got into it. Smart ended up throwing Trae to the ground, or I don't think he really threw him to the ground, but basically Marcus Smart felt that Trae kicked him in the nuts. And obviously
he
wasn't
threw him to the ground. Right.
No.
There, he tossed him.
Yeah, but
How
he's
you think
saying
they
that
got to
he's trying to act like John Collins pushed him or threw him down. That's what he's trying to act like.
No. John Collins wasn't even really trying to stop it, don't look like. You can get it. That is the reason. Look at John is there, but he ain't.
I don't know why John's trying
You
to
have nobody.
Yeah, nobody like Trae, because John should have. If you threw somebody from the Celtics down like that, what you think Marcus Smart would have done to you if you were on the ground?
Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready to be out 5 games.
See what I mean? Like at that point, that's clock. You should have clocked him right there.
But no, I mean, like I told you, this team doesn't enjoy playing on the floor together. It is widely obvious, and you see it every game now.
Trae did have he's had a good March. Starting off though, two-way Trae against the Wizards. He played really, really, really well against the Wizards. He's actually played really well since they got Quinn Snyder, as well as Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
The two-way Trae has been playing pretty well on defense, and they actually commented on it. Go ahead.
Jalen Johnson I say it every game. He can pass. He can really pass. When I tell you, he might be the 3rd best passer on our team. And his entry pass is excellent every time.
I just want y'all to know the name of this segment was Two-Way Trey. My man didn't say a word about Trae Young. My man said Jalen Johnson.
I saw that.
That adds to the narrative of. That adds to the narrative.
For playing defense for one game. You haven't played the defense your entire career. You got new coach, and now you're the guy who's staying, so you want to flex, dog. All right, dog. You could have been doing this. I'm not going for that. I'm not letting anybody trick me. I'm not letting Anthony Davis trick me into believing that he's something that he ain't. I'm not believing that Trae is now going to play defense for longer than a week. No.
I'm gonna let y'all know.
And did you see how
this was Norwood's topic today? No, the defense today was not on Trae. The defense today was on Hunter. But wait. Let me finish. So this was Norwood's topic. Norwood's topic was two-way Trae. He made the list. We get the two-way Trae and Trae clamps. My man said Jalen Johnson. Nothing about Trae, and then said, after I reminded you, I'm not giving you no credit for playing defense. You can't make this up. Don't talk about narrative no more about you. You make your own narrative.
This team is spiraling. No, this team is spiraling, and they hate each other, and you're the guy who gets paid the most money. Where's your leadership? Well, also tonight, Mike Conley, a smooth 21 points. You know how many points he averages for the season? 10.
What Trae have?
40.
So who was guarding Conley?
Well, it had to be Trae.
No, it didn't.
Or are you gonna give him McDaniels giving him 19?
I get
8 to 10 shooting.
Yeah, McDaniels is 16.
And what does he average for the season? Nothing. He averages for his career he averages 9 points.
What is Trae average?
Smooth 19 and 9 on 8 to 10 shooting.
What's Trae average?
40.
No, what's he average?
35.
What did he get today?
Yeah.
He had a good game, right?
41.
Just keep adding to your narrative. Keep adding to your narrative. This is the Norwood hates Trae narrative topic.
No, at this point, all of the Hawks, we can talk about till we're blue in the face. It is over for this team. I've told you that. This team, they are past the point of trying to win. That's the reason it's so messed up that we have to play in the play-in, and we're probably going to get to the playoffs.
No,
everybody is done.
We're not getting to the playoffs. No. We going to go in. We have
Watch
to.
and see.
Unless we go in as the 7th seed, and then we'd have to play, as long as we don't play Toronto. But then we'll have to play Boston or Milwaukee in the first round, which would just be awful. But but that's fine.
First quarter was 40 points. Second quarter was 36 points. Third quarter was 30 points. Fourth quarter was 30 points. Boy,
I'm still going to let you know right now. I ain't going to step over the fact that you still created this to give Trae praise for playing defense and then said absolutely nothing good about Trae. I'm just letting you know. Adding to your narrative.
Hey, the narrative is Nate stole the defense when he left, and he is not bringing it back. So y'all gonna give up 30 points a quarter now for the rest of the season.
Listen, man.
And it would be funny if it wasn't true.
You know it's funny because it is true. People got to stay off the damn phone. Kapow! He wasn't even on the phone. That was his glasses. I apologize. My man was up here just trying to be a ball boy, just trying to pass the ball back to somebody warming up. Steph Curry decided to do a full court shot and knocked that man's glasses off, and looks like he may have broken his nose. Shim Shao. Oh my God, it gets worse, and I don't want to laugh funnier every time. Jesus.
Number one, anytime, if you've ever played sports before, getting hit in the face is terrible, especially I got allergies, asthma.
And you know what sucks?
Blind once I get hit in the
and you always see it at the last second.
Yeah.
Like you be like, oh shit, bow.
Then people come right up to you like, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm dying right now.
Well, first of all,
a little bit of air.
Nobody came up to him.
Nah, they knew that was Steph. Hey, first of all, there's a few things that I want. I want a new pair of glasses. Steph, go ahead and send me a check. I need like $50,000.
Well, if you think Steph about to send you a check, you go ahead and just say, the owner of the Warriors can send me a check, $50,000.
I want one from them too.
You
You don't want a lawsuit. I mean, this is irresponsible. Well, also, it's Steph Curry shooting his half-court shot. You should probably.
I'm about to
know
say,
that.
we work in corporate America. There was something he signed as a waiver.
Oh yeah. Anytime you come to any sports, there's an understood waiver. Like baseball, you can't sue if you get hit in the head with a ball or if you get hit in the head with a baseball. I mean, with a ball or a baseball bat.
So it's unfortunate.
That's a responsibility coming with the game.
This is unfortunate. I think he ended up being cool. Steph ended up. His name is Jonathan, by the way. And Steph's response is best game worn jersey I've ever given away. My bad, Jonathan. So he gave him a game worn jersey. So shout out to Steph.
Well, hey man, hey Wardell, if you think you finna come back with this sweaty jersey after you done broke my face all up into 100 different, they go back there and get some of that money they gave.
And then KD, speaking of warm-ups, Jonathan Kuminga ended up getting hurt. He twisted his ankle. He was out. And KD just random. I mean, that ankle
looks
twisted.
worse and worse. That is the gift and the curse of being 8 feet tall and can dribble like a guard.
KD, I know you and Steph are still cool. I know you and Steph still converse. I'm sure there's other interactions. I'm sure you need to take advantage of that and go talk to Steph about what he did to keep his ankles healthy. Because at the beginning, Steph's
his ankles is for 6'3" people.
Steph
is an 8-foot ankle.
Steph at the beginning of his career ended up, he had 4 or 5 years of just ankle injuries, and it was like he might not ever be good because his ankles, and he ended up whatever he did. KD need to do the same thing. First thing, you need to go ahead and wear an ankle brace, bro. Go ahead. I know it doesn't feel natural, and you're a natural basketball player at this point, but bro, you got to protect your legs, man. Got to protect your legs. He's out 3 weeks.
And I mean,
3 weeks.
Yeah, you see, I rolled the ankle. And Steph, you can't talk to me what you wear, 11, maybe a 12. Bro, I wear a size 85 shoe. It is nothing that these two bolts can do for me. That's what happens when you're tall and elusive. You're skinny.
So what if you wear a 12 and then you just do this?
No, Lord help me. Where am I
PJ
going?
Tucker. Now, PJ, the only thing that saved you was that you didn't make the shot. But the second thing, first off, PJ, it's funny that you wipe your shoes because you are the shoe man of the NBA. If there's anybody that can get the shoes that have the perfect traction for the court, it's you. So we know that this stumble from Torrey Craig made you fall without dribbling the ball. He didn't dribble. All he did was he made you spin around and fall from the 3-point line to the paint. He started falling at the
He made it look like he was doing capoeira, like when they do this, then they come back the other
Eddie
way.
Gordo from Tekken 2.
He looked like Eddie from Tekken. It looked like a crab walk. It looked like a bear crawl. It looked like life was coming at you too fast. Everything happened. Hey man,
B-boy dancer. He looked like all of that, man. But that was funny.
Paul Reed was like, bro, you ain't have to do my boy like that.
Luckily, he got the rebound.
Step, side to side.
Oh man. But in all serious news, before we finish up with this basketball segment, shout out to Damon Stoudemire. The Hawks. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets ended up firing their coach. And 2 years ago, he just signed a contract 4 years ago, and he made the tournament 2 years ago. They ended up firing their coach, and everybody was like, that kind of came out of nowhere. Well, it turns out Damon Stoudemire is finalizing a 5-year deal to become Georgia Tech's next basketball coach, getting his head coaching experience. So shout out to Damon Stoudemire. Shout out to Georgia Tech for making a splash move, man. Going and getting it. Going for it.
Congratulations. Am I the only person who believes? I got a question. And number one, we need more black coaches. I'm happy to see a black coach at Georgia Tech. Now, I was betting on Amir Abdur-Rahim to be that next coach at Georgia Tech. But, Damon Stoudemire is another guy who I respect immensely. Can we talk about this haircut, though? It's a lie in this haircut. You trying to believe me that your beard is all gray like this, but your hair is jet black?
His hair ain't jet black. It's white all right here. You think he colored just the front? Boy, Damon, you should be fired. If you decide to just color the top front of your hair, not the side, you should be fired, Damon.
He did 25 on the top. He did 45 on the bottom.
Well, so you saying he ran out of the dye? He used it all right here, like Carlos Boozer. And left it all everything else?
I think that this is a. Trying to think. This is a constructed salt and pepper.
This that fiction?
I don't think that.
I think
not way more salt.
Not the 60 trying to look 45.
Yeah.
Not the just for men salt and pepper. For
it's comb through.
comb through.
Yeah, it ain't. I don't trust it, big dog. I do not trust that top. That.
There's a joke there too.
Pause. As soon as I said it, but y'all know the haircut, the hair is too black. That hair black and it's blue black. And then you just light skin and salt on the chin.
That boy said, I don't trust that top. You know who else said that? Tiger. I like that callback, don't you?
You gonna pay $30 million for it.
$30 million for some top that I don't like? You lost your mind.
I don't.
All right, we get silly. But if y'all don't understand that Tiger Woods joke, you need to go back and listen to the pregame because it's funny as hell.
Would you pay $30 million to make your ex-girlfriend leave your house? If so, you may be entitled to a settlement. Yo.
My man Tiger dropped her off at the airport.
Way out of my life.
My man didn't even.
You have to delete yourself from my existence. I need to never know you existed if I have to pay you $30 million to get away.
You better go to an uncharted island. You better build your own civilization.
No, Men in Black, flashy thing. Me delete all of the brain cells, clear out the cache, clear the history, all of it. I don't. All the pictures in my phone need to be deleted. You need to be deleted from my social media. You delete me from your social media. I don't tell your family to call me. Nobody who we're cool with exists no more. They either my friend or they gone.
I agree with everything you said, except for I need to know you. $30 million. You got $30 million of my money. I want to know every.
No,
ladies and gentlemen, we come to the.
I want to forget you. Ooh, I want people to ask, when was the last time you saw such and such? Excuse me?
$30 million ago. that's how $30 million ago. That's always going to be my answer.
Hey, and whatever job you got, divide that by 30 million, and that's how long I needed to be gone.
Man, anyway, we've come to the end of the.
Not text me.
We come to the end of the basketball segment, ladies and gentlemen, episode 94.
And Tiger's relationship.
You just gonna. Nope, not gonna slander the black man. We come to the end of the basketball segment. We got one more segment to go.
One more relationship to go.
He had 11 of them at one time. See, you put it right there. I ducked it.
And they all work at Waffle House.
And they all look alike and they all crazy. Got it tight. We'll be right back with the football segment, man. It is NFC. It is off-season, free agency, draft. NFL is gonna keep their name in your mouth some kind of way, Shawty. Y'all stay tuned. I said name. Ha ha ha. See, we'll be
and the Falcons. We'll be right back. The Falcons are not.
The Falcons are trying. They are trying, and I like some of the moves. We'll discuss that in depth, and when we come right back, y'all stay tuned as we listen to. What are we gonna listen to? No, I don't want to hear that one. We're going to listen to Big Walk Dog from episode 94 of the Splashcast.
Dealer's Choice.
The Around the League edition. Monday Night Raw. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Subscribe. Tell other people about the podcast.
And donate.
We love you.
This shit is expensive. Donate. We love y'all. Peace.
Yes, send us money.
LKJ, you got another.
Hey, leave Mississippi, go to Florida, Alabama, Georgia. Might need a shirt, I know it hurt, they got it name embroidered. I'm labor, a boss, and not an artist, I'm a workaholic. The man who scrum is with his sense, he think he hearing voices. Plugged in my teeth and flossing every time I'm talking, darling. A college girl work with the orders, he think he Travis Porter. She knowing a half, make up 2 quarters, keep a set like Dorman. 400 grand just short of large, I ball it like Jordan. I know Miguel work at hotel before I'm in California. One thing I know for sure, his work gon' come up through the water. And if you catch him while he jumping, he do cheaper orders. So many packs up in his house, he could've been on hoarders. We looked at boats the other day, a beach house on the water. Been certified, go check my name, move smarter than Harvard. They think he probably snatching person, he dressed like a Robin. Ain't doing no flogging, he outside right now with a carbon. I'm lit, I parked the Hellcat right by a Ferrari. Admit we really live that, ain't telling them sorry. I miss your call, it wasn't on purpose, I probably was jogging. That nigga really been the cop, I know he been dodging. I know he be flogging. He nigga be cars, man. Ain't telling them sorry. Dodging that. Won't live till tomorrow. Ain't doing no charges, nigga dodging. Your life in the bottle. Don't wanna kick it with no rapper, we keeping it briefly. You ever seen 100,000 increasing up weekly? You ever pulled up in the lamb and hopped out with a heater? If you ain't seen the least, the end, we ain't nowhere near equal. Nigga be different, probably why I won't do no more features. And you won't hear me with a red out of nobody's speakers. With 111 water pieces, divided like pizza. You get the reaching, you go get higher than reefer. Probably higher than Jesus. Probably higher than leave Mississippi, go to Florida, Alabama, Georgia. Might need a shirt, I know that hurt, he got his name embroidered. I'm labeled a boss and not an artist, I'm a workaholic. The man who scrum is with his sense, he think he hearing voices. Plugged in my teeth, I'm flossing every time I'm talking, darling. A college girl work with the order, he think he Travis Porter. She knowing the hair, make up 2 quarters, keep a set like Dorman. 400 grand just short of large, and I ball it like Jordan. I ball it like Jordan.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 94 of the Splashcast, the football edition, Monday Night Raw, Around the League edition. That was Big Walk Dog from the Splashcast 24-pack worldwide. Make sure you go listen to that. It's on all your iTunes, Spotify. No ad. I've always wanted to do that. I want to be a radio host, but I want to get paid like a TV personality, though. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with our football segment of episode 94 of the Splashcast. Got a few things we're going to talk about today. Start off with college real fast. Clemson is trying. We made fun of them when Central Florida ran down the dirty-ass hill. But the football team has unveiled the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute, or the CAB. It's the first dedicated facility for student athlete branding and NIL education. It has 1,200 square feet, 2 stories attached to the west end of school's Poe indoor facility. And if you're watching this, you can see all of. Is this a mixer? You can see all of the amenities of it, where they can have their own NIL, they can have their own podcast, they can host their own shows, as well as shoot their own content. So shout out to Clemson. Go ahead.
You believe this?
Do I believe what?
This as a program, do you believe it? Do you trust it?
There's an NIL facility?
Yeah. Do you think this is good or bad?
The Branding Institute.
I think this is a trick, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, tell me more. I'm confused.
This embeds Clemson into all of their players' NIL deals. This is basically a way to, hey, well, we helped you with this. And you used our facility and all of this. So this is an immense amount of control. It's good because you have these type of things, but I don't trust this for 1 minute. This is like working for the company that has the video games, the massage chairs, and all that stuff. It sounds good until somebody sees you actually use it. Then when they see that, what are they going to say? Shouldn't you be at practice? Oh, you think you're just going to come here and shoot a couple episodes a week for your podcast? Hey, we're not really seeing the production on the field for you to be. We think that you're taking this podcasting way more seriously than you are your football.
I mean, from that angle, yeah, I could see that happening. I would hope that from a work production standpoint, I mean, that conversation is gonna. If you were the coach and your player can't remember what the hot route call is, but is in here shooting an episode every day, then you're gonna be like, hey man, where are your priorities? And I mean, I think that's fair. What I did not think about and what I don't like is Clemson trying to get in on the NIL money.
All of your content. All your content. Came from where? You think they're just going to let you put this out? And
you could also look at it as the content that you put out for. You don't know what this is going to be for, right? You don't know if they're going to allow you. We don't know the rules. So they may be shooting a whole bunch of content that goes for Clemson, or that goes for that has to do with Clemson and the player, and then they split the money. I don't know. But I hope that that's not the case, because at the end of the day, if that's the case, I can just go shoot this at my house. No, I think that's a valid point. I think that's something that players need to discuss on the front end. If you use this facility, any content that you make means what? As a recruit,
you might be 16. You're a freshman in college.
You got to have but that's why at this point, if you're going to be in the NIL discussion and conversation and ecosystem, you got to have some type of representation. Eventually, you're going to have something.
You got to go to. You got
to have an agent.
Now.
You got to have an agent. Almost at. Wow, stumbled on this conversation. You got to have an agent almost in high school. One, and then two. If I'm a sports agency, I dramatically increase my internship department. I want every friend of these because you're gonna need an agent. If you're gonna have this conversation with somebody that's an agent, I mean, if you're gonna go into college with somebody that's an agent, then I want your agent to be with me. If I'm an agency, I'm increasing my younger.
They're not
demographic.
They're not letting interns handle these. These guys are making a ton of money.
No. You're not gonna handle it, but you will bring them in. It's almost like being an assistant A&R or something like that. Like you're bringing the athlete to the agent, and you're the mediary. As an intern.
I think your best case scenario is the athlete has a friend, and he is more demanding that my friend does whatever. It's I
hire the friend.
Me and my cousins all going to school here, and then everybody gets a scholarship type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that too.
But
I definitely think that they're going to take some of the money.
I'm super leery of this. I don't trust any of this. And I don't think that Clemson has the players' best intentions at mind. And I hope that parents and players are very leery and read what you sign and understand where you're producing and understand that when you use all of these people's equipment, they're probably going to want some, if not all of this money.
So
protect yourself. Be safe.
So when we talked about South Carolina and Dawn, they were the first people to set up an NIL situation for their team situation and all of that. Right? Why didn't you have this stance for them versus this stance for Clemson? Is it just the institute? I mean, not is it just the building that changes your stance, or is it Clemson? Why didn't you think of this when it came to South Carolina?
Because Dawn has proof of concept. Dawn says our girls get paid more than everybody else on campus, and they are one of the highest paid, if not highest paid, women's sports out of everybody. So if everybody is getting paid and they're getting paid more than everybody else, then yeah, you have proof of concept that you're getting people paid. I don't trust Clemson. I don't trust Dabo. I don't trust.
That sounds personal, because just because they're making more money, that means the institute is functioning the way it should. That doesn't mean that they're not taking a cut out of that money. That just means that whatever they set up is working.
You're technically right. You're right.
Is
you're
working
right. You're
correct.
Wrong.
So for this, it should be, if it works like they should, then they should make a lot of money, and so should the people. What you're saying is you don't trust Clemson and Dabo, and I think you don't trust Dabo because it's personal.
And also, this is more content driven. I think that, and don't get me wrong here, I think their girls are more like NIL deal. Like, hey, I go do this. This is my sponsorship. Content is different. You and I know that 100%. Where you create your content, how you house your content, whose responsibility of that content, that is way different than, hey, I'm going to sign up at this McDonald's and I come here every Tuesday and sign autographs. I'm just saying, keep your head on a swivel. I don't trust this. I don't.
I mean, it's cool that you don't trust it, but I'm just saying, it seems like you're giving the benefit of a doubt to one person and not trusting another group or another institute for the same thing. For the same thing.
I have way really more trust in Dawn Staley than Dabo Swinney.
Okay. Why?
Because just the equity between the two coaches.
What do you mean?
I've seen how Dawn coaches. I've seen how Dawn has spoken about things that affect her players. I've seen how Dabo has spoken about things that affect his players. They're on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Could you elaborate? I mean, that was kind of vague.
Oh, no. I mean, well, you want to talk about the One America Network, the Dabo Swinney, the shirt that he was wearing, which is like right-wing propaganda?
Dabo wore One America News Network? I didn't know that. He wore the shirt? I thought that was the dude from Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Was that him? I could have sworn that was Dabo on one of them shirts. I might be wrong.
Yeah, that was definitely,
I'm pretty confident.
That was Mike Gundy.
Oh, my apologies. I have to go back. Dabo did something that I don't trust. I have to go back and look. But yes, Dawn Staley has immensely more pedigree, not pedigree, but just cachet with me. Dabo, I don't trust. I don't trust Clemson. I'm not signing up for this.
I think that's all personal. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
It is.
We'll see how it goes. NFL time, baby, and we starting out just like in basketball. We started out with the NFL, not the Hawks, because the Hawks is fucking up. And you see what hat I'm wearing? You see it out there? Falcons, baby. We've had a rough off season. We thought that we were getting them. Hold on, let me set it up. We thought we had a rough start to the off season. We thought we was getting Lamar. We thought we might be going after Justin Fields. None of that materialized. We'll wait to see what happens with Lamar before we scream the C word. But it looks it's looking like the C word. It's looking like the C word.
Because there are a lot of NFL players that have already said it, and J.J. Watt has already basically said the same thing. So I'm in the clear. We all understand that that's collusion with Lamar. But we are probably one of the few teams that can get kind of pushed out of the collusion if they continue to make moves like they're making. Because if you look at our team, it is very strategic about how they're planning to do. But if you've been watching the podcast over the last 4 weeks, we have been in constant talk about Jesse Bates.
Jesse Bates
we've
was a
seen
done
a
deal.
number of the. Yeah, once we saw them, I don't know where it was, all out to eat together. It was him and all the rest of the Falcons. We knew he was a Falcon. I'm pretty sure, not to toot my own hair, but I'm pretty sure I called that one. I knew that was in the bag, but I don't think.
Well, they also all own. They all have the same agent, so that's why they were all out. So they all have the same agent, and they all live in. They were all in Atlanta, like, and Atlanta got all the money. So yeah, we all were like, me and you were both like, yeah, this looks like
it's a foregone. Like if you study the Hawks, I mean not the Hawks, the Falcons at least a little bit, you probably expected Jesse Bates. I'm not coming here to tell you that I was the only person who did. I'm not that guy. I think that this is a good move. I think that excuse me, it's the second time. They're triggering me. The Falcons are on a 2-year plan now. If you look at all of the deals they're signing people for around 2 years. This one is I think a 4-year deal, but he makes I think he makes 58 of the 64 million in the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it goes afterwards.
So I think this is a good pickup, though. This strengthens our secondary, and we've been swinging, trying to get better there.
So the Falcons have needed a center field coverage type secondary for a long time. We have a decent strong secondary, strong safety in Richie Grant. He definitely plays the run very well, plays down in the box, and he can hit players over the middle. But we needed somebody to create turnovers, to put fear in throwing the ball, throwing deep passes 20 yards down the field. And that's what Jesse Bates does. And he's only 26. Like, he's he's young. So at the end of the 2 years, he'll be 28. And if he's good in 2 years, then you just re-up on the other 2 years.
And I think that's what we're going to do. Everything, we moved up from the 1-year trial to now we're going to try you for 2 years. And as we keep building this team this year, we'll always be able to kind of chop the dead weight, move it around to the front. I think that's more strategically. That's the reason I don't hate them not going after Lamar. Because once you got Lamar, you kind of sunk a ton of money. This allows us to be more agile until we find the guys who we really, because I think that's what this is. We just sifting through people to see who we like and see who we don't like.
I don't think they're sifting through Jesse. I think they think Jesse Bates is the safety for the near future, if not the future.
But I'm gonna tell you, if you look at the way that the contract structure, it's safe. It's a safe contract that in a year, in 2 years, if it ain't working, we cut bait.
Here's another 2 year. It's a 3-year deal. The Falcons side, David Onyemata. We got Terry Fontenot from the Saints. We now have brought over Ryan Nielsen, who is the Saints defensive line coach. He is now our defensive coordinator. If you know anything about the Saints defensive line, he played 6 or 7 defensive linemen. Basically had two stalwarts and rotated the interior linemen the entire time. So signing David Onyemata was a great pickup for us because it gives Grady Jarrett, along with Taquan Graham, that gives Grady Jarrett some help. And you can't really double team. And we all have seen Grady play. If you single cover him, he's going to get a sack or going to get pressure every single time.
Every time.
Over. And to your credit, or to what you're saying, to your point, David Onyemata's deal is 3 years, $35 million, with 24.5 fully guaranteed in the first 2 years. So after the first 2 years,
get him out of there.
He's out of there, and he's already 30. So you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna get one or two good years out of him. He gets his money, and then we move on. I like it.
Or you know what? Maybe if you good at the end, we'll keep you for another year or two if we're competing at a level that looks like somewhere between playoff to Super Bowl level. Then yeah, you've done your first 2 years. Maybe we pay you something for one more year. Well, all of these contracts are kind of flex on. They're contingent on you competing at a high level to stay a part of this team. They're kind of moving this team forward in the belief that we're going to get better. You're going to get better with us, or you're going to get better somewhere else.
Yeah. 100%. And nah, Sneaky, I believe that's collusion. What you saying? The whole league knows the Ravens are matching anything another team offers, so why waste the time? That's collusion. Because if they were gonna match anything they offer, they would go ahead and offer him a contract so that it doesn't even get there. But back to the
because there are too many teams that need Lamar.
We gonna get there. We just saw all these people get.
Okay,
we just saw somebody.
My bad.
We just saw somebody get hired. That was insane. But so David Onyemata. We also sneaky good pickup. Jonnu Smith.
Juke season.
Sneaky pickup, traded a 7th round pick to the Patriots for him. He actually had his best years under Arthur Smith in Tennessee next to Delaney Walker. When Arthur Smith was the offensive coordinator. Y'all know Arthur Smith likes 12 personnel, 1 back, 2 tight ends. So Jonnu Smith, and it's another 2-year deal, restructured his contract, so it's another 2-year deal. Well, it's 3-year deal,
Jonnu
but they
Smith,
restructured, so it's 2 years.
Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Woo! That is
That's a lot of
problematic,
height.
my friend.
That's a lot of height. With Cordero Patterson on the other side of Algier, or Cordero Patterson just running around, I wouldn't put no position at Cordell. You Debo. You are slot back. SB.
I am not
slot
only
back.
not putting him in a position, I'm putting him in awkward places on the field to make you guard.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Cordero on your linebacker, on your defensive end that you decide to drop in the flat. Like, that's what I want for Cordero. So,
Yeah,
Jonnu Smith
I am
is
going
sneaky
back
'cause he's
to
athletic.
college football. I'm making up formations to make it difficult for you to play football. And I like Terry Fontenot. We rocking with you right now, big dog. I'm gonna tell you that. You've been checking off the boxes, and you come a very long way from when Reggie first called you a plant when you first got here to
Terry
now
Fontenot.
we're in lockstep with you. Whatever you do at this point, you are kind of you're not Alex Anthopoulos because you haven't won us a championship, but we're giving you an immense amount of respect and rope. Now, to my team that does not have leadership named Terry Fontenot or Alex Anthopoulos, you see why we getting our ass kicked right. Everything starts at the top, people. Never forget that. You're only as good as the top of your organization.
And the top of our organization made Chris Lindstrom the #1 interior offensive line rated last year, top 3 over the last 2 years. I think since he's been in the league, he's been top 10. We gave him 5-year, $105 million contract, $21 million a year, making him the highest paid interior offensive lineman over Quentin Nelson by $1 million. Deservedly so.
Beautiful. Great draft pick. Great production. Happy to have you for the next 5 years. We're not getting cute with this. We ain't getting fancy with this. We just putting little pieces together to create us a little piece of team. That makes me happy.
A lot of people didn't like this. A lot of Falcons fans said this was an overpay for a guard. And I was like, well, y'all got to understand the way contracts are set up. Quentin Nelson was making $20 million a year and was rated as the #1 guard for most of his career. If I outplay Quentin Nelson to be the #1 guard, you've got to pay me at least $1 million more than him. That's how it works.
And it's very nice for him to only say, I'll take 1.
He took $1 million over. It is what it is. I mean, look at you could do it that way, or you could try to sit it out and wait like the Ravens did with Lamar, and then the Cleveland Browns go pay Deshaun $250 million, and now you left there holding your $150 million bag. And it's like,
and
dang.
let me tell you, people who get paid interior offensive line.
And left tackles. Yep. So, shout out to the Hawks, man.
This is the least of my worries.
So shout out to Quentin Nelson was also older than Lindstrom at the time when he got paid too. But shout out to the Falcons, man. I like every one of these moves. I'm interested to see what we do with the last 20-something. I think we spent like $40 million of our cap, and we've got 66. So we got $26 million to go. I wonder what we do with that. Are we going to sign Caleb McGarry? Are we going to go get another linebacker? We got to sign Rashaan Evans or somebody. Do we trade for a receiver? We could trade for a receiver. You never know. I mean, Denver just put a fire sale on all three of their receivers. So you never know what can happen. Yeah, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, and the other one. Oh, I can't remember his name. All three of them have been put on the trading block. And we got $26 million. So
how do you feel about Adam Thielen?
I don't. No. He does not fit what we need at receiver. We need speed. We have all the possession receivers in the world. We got a 6'6" tight end, a 6'5" tight end, and a 6'4".
I just feel like the one thing I do like about him is he is a competent
route runner.
He's a receiver. Now that puts Drake as our wide receiver 1, but you also know that he's a good complement beside a young guy. You've seen what he's done with Justin Jefferson. Man. And we got to see though. But I think we're drafting that kid from Cincinnati. That I am willing. I'm not gonna say I don't feel quite as strongly as I did about Jesse Bates, but I feel very confident that we draft that wide receiver from Cincinnati.
Who?
I can't think of his name. But he was Ritter's wide receiver number 2 last year, and that is in every draft pick so far. I've seen him.
Oh, Tyler Scott?
Yes, that's his name. He is drafted by the Falcons in every draft. Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, same person to me. I said it out loud.
And he's fast. He's super fast. So yeah, that can happen.
And I think we get him in like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there. But everything says that it's basically like a foregone conclusion that we want him. I ain't gonna say that the rest of the NFL doesn't want him, but I think that we want to create our own version of everything that everybody else has done with go get the guy who you play college football with. Type of thing.
Now, we were only going to talk about the draft once the draft got here, because we haven't talked about Nolan Smith running a 4.38. We haven't talked about obviously the DBs from Maryland.
With that sled, though.
The DBs from Maryland all run 4.2s, and they're 6 feet. But this dude right here, this man Darnell Washington, this is everybody else pushing the sled. Look, everybody else
just chopping for eternity.
There's one. Look at my man right here. Michael Mayer is the number 1 tight end in the draft. No extension. Look at that. Struggling. Now look at Darnell Washington.
Now look at this.
Move out the way. 7 yards down the field. Now I'm gonna let it play again. Look at the difference. You tell me who's tight end number 1
against this sled.
You tell me who's tight end number 1 in this draft.
He hit him with the punch, and then he's just chop. Now watch this man here. First of all, you might be converted to offensive lineman blocking like this. He just got him on out of the way.
You would think that until you see him catch a one-handed pass on the out route.
Right. This once again, happy Black History Month. Number 2, whoever drafts this guy,
Ravens.
At worst,
Ravens gonna draft him.
But I mean, if you stay in that mold forever, you're gonna be that person forever. Eventually, the Ravens are. You know what? Maybe the Ravens are the new Bears.
Yeah. I mean, I say the Ravens because they got the Bulldog. They got the Bulldogs offensive coordinator as the new offensive coordinator. That's why I said they got Monken. So that's why I said Darnell Washington, somebody.
Oh, that is right in his wheelhouse,
and he knows how to use him too. I mean, him and Mark Andrews would be basically him and Brock Bowers. I can see it. If I'm Darnell Washington, I don't know if I want to do that though. I would rather go to a team that would actually use me more than 30 catches over 3 years. But you never know, man. But we just had to show y'all that. Now we're going to talk about quarterbacks that got signed that were not Lamar Jackson. Starting off, Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G. Goes to the Raiders. $67.5 million, $34 million guaranteed. Is this an overpay?
Tryout.
Is this an overpay? I mean, tryout. $34 million for a tryout?
What were you going to do without him? This is the best available option.
Breaking news. The Falcons are making another move on defense, signing former Saints linebacker Caden Ellis. He has 7 sacks, 7 tackles, and 11 starts. He became a hot free agent. 3-year, $21 million deal. Wow.
You know what that 3-year deal is? Is a 2-year deal. I bet he get $21 million. He get 18 over 2.
Nah, he get $11 million guaranteed. So $7 million per year. So he gets basically a year and a half guaranteed. It's not bad. But yeah, Jimmy G.
I mean,
Jimmy G got paid again. Mind you, Jimmy G ain't really done nothing.
Win
what?
His winning percentage is nuts. Now he has nothing to do with it, but if you look at his wins versus losses, it's up there. He's elite Marcus Mariota, but still somehow finding a way to do it.
He's better than Marcus Mariota. Yeah, he's not as mobile. I mean, Derek Carr got $100 million. Jimmy G got 67. It is what it is.
I think that Jimmy gets closer to 100 before these last few contracts drop.
He gets another $100 million contract? I like it because he's going back to Josh McDaniels, that's the person that was his offensive coordinator when he had his breakout season.
There's just such I talk about every week. I think there's a quarterback deficit. There are more jobs than there are good quarterbacks, qualified quarterbacks, and not even qualified quarterbacks. I want to be very clear. I don't consider Jimmy G a qualified quarterback. Derek Carr is probably the bottom tier qualified quarterback, and I don't think that there are enough guys to go for all the teams. So I think there's always going to be about a third of the NFL that is playing with backups or guys who are headed to be back.
So everybody's a version of Kirk Cousins, the sneaky. Kirk Cousins is a regular white man, the sneaky.
The most average. And that's the thing about Jimmy G is kind of like Derek Carr to the Saints. Well, we couldn't start over with the rookie quarterback because there are not enough of them to go around. So this is the only thing I can do to keep my team, which if you look at it, when they have Devontae Adams, they franchise tag Josh Jacobs, what's the tight end? Darren Waller. He has weapons. But I don't for 1 minute believe that Jimmy G is capable of getting the ball to his weapons consistently.
Now, the 49ers, while they don't have a quarterback, but they do have a quarterback, but they really don't have a quarterback, they added another one to the mix. Your man. Your boy.
Trash.
So.
Trash.
And keeping up with it, Derek Carr, Sam Darnold.
Trash.
What was the last person we just talked about? I had a brain fart.
Scam Darnold, Jimmy G, David.
Jimmy G as well. All guys signed. Lamar, no contract.
Well, Lamar is probably gonna get paid more than all three of these guys combined.
Yep. In other news, man, the Bears are all in on Justin Fields apparently, or are they? They're in on Justin Fields for another year. They traded the first pick to the Carolina Panthers for DJ Moore and the 9th pick, I believe. And then they got like 4 picks. They got a first and a second and a first and a second next year, and they got DJ Moore. So they got 5 assets for the first pick so that Carolina can move up to the number 1 pick, and I assume draft the quarterback. I'm hearing CJ Stroud.
Do you believe that C.J. Stroud is that good?
I don't believe any
to give up all of this.
I don't think any of the quarterbacks are that good.
This is the worst quarterback draft to do this.
I would have done this next
This is
year.
a very, very stupid move by the Panthers. Now they don't have anybody to throw to. And what y'all may or may not be able to see on the caption here, DJ Moore actually has more receiving yards than any other wide receiver in Bears history. He would be the number one receiver in Bears history. I want to put this in context because maybe you guys don't know how long the Bears have been around. The Bears have been around since 1920. So now you're thinking to yourself, Chris, isn't it 2023? So it's been 100 years, and the Bears have never had one wide receiver that's had more than 5,000 some yards? Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. The Bears, the Bears have been a running offense.
That's terrible.
They've been a running offense since
forever?
1920. Yeah. I mean,
since 1920.
Yes. When have they ever aired? Obviously, they have. The leading receiver got less than 5,000 yards. Where else have they not been a running offense? I mean,
how do you be unsuccessful and do the same thing for 100 years?
Well, now they've been successful in 100 years. Huh?
When was the last time they were successful? And let me put into context exactly how accurate this is. Johnny Morris is the Chicago's all-time leader with 5,059 yards during his 10 years with the Bears from 1958, which is the year my father was born, to 1967. They haven't even had a good receiver in the passing era of football. Thoughts and prayers to all Bears fans. I'm sorry that your leadership is.
I mean, think about it.
Looks like
I'm not
turning it
surprised
around,
that this is bad. I mean, this is bad, but up until the last 20 years, their calling card has been running the ball. That has been running the ball in defense. That's been their calling card since the 80s. Well, obviously since the 50s, since the 20s. It's been running the ball in defense. They've never, when they won the Super Bowl in 1985, right? Or 84, whatever year that was. It was Walter Payton and the defense. And was it Willie Goat? That was it.
Oh, yes. And I also want to put this in more context. Roddy White, Atlanta Falcons wide receiver, Ring of Honor, I think, but not Hall of Famer. He has 10,863 yards. He has basically double the leading wide receiver for the Bears. And if you followed the Falcons for a long time, be the most successful team of all.
Yeah, but we air it now. One thing we do is throw the ball now. They throw the ball. Even when we run the ball, we still would throw the ball. The Bears don't throw the ball. Also, the Bears have missed on almost every quarterback they've drafted. Every single one.
What I'm trying to say is the Bears, first of all, are playing in the wrong, not even decade. They're playing in the wrong millennium.
Yeah, in the wrong dimension. Y'all need to go get the Infinity Stones and snap your say back to before they did the starting pad. You can go somewhere else. Who's the last good Bears quarterback?
Rex Grossman.
Exactly.
Go Gators.
For 1 year. Kyle Orton? You got Kyle Orton.
Jake Plummer, probably.
Jake Plummer was there? I didn't think he was ever there. I thought he was in Denver.
No, not Jake the Snake. Who's the guy who's just like Jake the Snake, but not him?
The
one that Brandon Marshall didn't like.
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler, that same person.
Jim McMahon. Paul Hallis. He was a coach.
The Bears are irresponsible. At a certain point, you have to be like, damn.
You know what? You know what, Baltimore? I apologize. I don't apologize per se. But I'm going to shoot y'all a little bit of relief. I'm not going to keep talking about y'all swinging and missing on all these wide receivers that y'all drafting. Because the Bears have been in existence for 100 years. We cannot name one quarterback or one good receiver
in 100 years.
One quarterback or one good receiver from the Bears. Not one. Name I'm sure we're missing some, but for the Bears, all I can think about is linebackers, defensive line, defense, running backs, and Dang, what's the coach name? He was the tight end. He ended up being the coach. Mike Ditka. That's all I can think of.
You want to know something real messed up?
Mm-hmm.
Let me name the top 5 receiving yards for the Bears. Tell you, Johnny Morris, who played in 1958. Arlen Hill, who played in 1954. Alshon Jeffrey played 4 years. Walter Payton is the 4th leading wide receiver for the Chicago Bears. Mike Ditka, number 5, to round it out.
They have no receivers in the Hall of Fame. They have no receivers. I'm looking. We did not mean it. We got other stuff to talk about, but this is crazy.
To have multiple running backs in your Hey man, if y'all Bears fan, thoughts and prayers to y'all, man. Y'all
ain't no way there still should be Bears fans. They don't throw the ball forward. They got Justin Fields, and they've had a quarterback lead the league or be top 10 in rushing. Come on, man.
They have been around for 104 seasons. Take this team away from Chicago. Take it out of Chicago, put it somewhere else. Sanitize this and start over. This is disrespectful.
So
this is trash. I want to and congrats to DJ Moore. You might, hey, you go there and set records, my friend.
Well, this is what I'm saying. I'd have what incentive based. Y'all want to do it? Fine. I break the Bears single season record for receiving. Done. I already done that. But okay.
Easy money.
So with these moves, the Bears they also signed Tremaine Edmonds, which was a fantastic signing, by the way, replacing Roquan.
They hustle the Panthers.
Tremaine Edwards came from the Bills, but yeah, this one, DJ Moore, they now have him, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet, and Darnell Mooney. That's a full offense. All they need is now. If I were them, I might trade down again, because I'm telling you right now, all you need is a running back, and you still have all of this money. Yeah, Bijan Robinson, but you still also have all this money. You ain't signed nobody. Tremaine Edmonds, I think he got $84 million, 4 years, $84 million. 64. 4 years, 64, because it's $16 million a year. You had $80-something million in cap space.
Yeah.
If I'm them, the first person I'm signing, if I'm them, is Orlando Brown from the Chiefs. He's a free agent. I'm signing him tomorrow.
Would definitely help.
Then, if I got more money, I'm trading for Laramie Tunsil. Boom.
Oh, you're really aggressive. You want.
They have $80 million in cap space. They've only used like 20. Right. Why not? Now you talk about eliminating, building a team around somebody and eliminating excuses. I've given you DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet, Orlando Brown, Laramie Tunsil, Darnell Mooney. All you need, and then I drafted you a running back. You've got to be good. We have doubled down on you.
You got to give me some. You got to give me some.
Some what?
You got to give me a coordinator too. I still need a play caller. All of that is well and good, but you got to have a play caller. Now, might not need the greatest play caller, but I still need. Now, Sneaky, I agree with you, but sometimes you have to give up. You got to change something. If they keep going after defense, you're going to end up becoming the Ravens. And Josh is still watching. Cover your ears. But if I'm an offensive player, I'm not interested in going to Baltimore. There's nothing about Baltimore that is intriguing to me as a wide receiver or, like a hybrid tight end, Kyle Pitts type of thing. You already got Mark Andrews over there who plays that position. And then you guys are not going to throw the ball that often. I'm not going there. I want to go somewhere where I can get paid again.
So Luke Getsy is now the Bears offensive coordinator.
Trust it.
So I believe he specializes in working with. Well, this is not all physical coordinators are supposed to. Specializes in working with the with coordinators. I mean, with quarterbacks. So, I mean, we will see, man. We will see. But the Bears, they to me, they're having a really good offseason right now. But it could be a really bad offseason if you traded away the number one pick and any one of these quarterbacks happens to be good and Justin Fields is not. Right, but you're also assuming that. But you're assuming that Carolina's going to be good. Well, ooh, I didn't think about this point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. Next year's quarterback draft is supposed to be better than this year, right? By far, because it's got Caleb Williams number one.
They have him out of there if it don't work.
They have 2 number 1 picks next year. We're assuming that Carolina's going to be ass next year, ass-tastic. They're about to lose some defensive players.
I hadn't heard that one in a while.
And they ain't got no offensive players. They had DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey, and both of them are gone. So you assume that Panthers pick is going to be a top 10, top 5 pick. And if Justin Fields isn't good, then all these pieces you put around him ain't going to do nothing but get you into the late lottery anyway. So then you have 2 lottery picks to trade for the first pick, and you can get Caleb Williams. This is a genius move by the GM, and y'all try to talk bad about that man. Woo! This is not bad.
No. Flexing what he had into what he got in return, without a doubt, was a win. I don't think that goes without saying or without question as far as I'm concerned. Now, I will tell you, if I'm Baker Mayfield, this is a place that I'm trying to get.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the inn is full now in San Francisco with Brock Purdy, with Trey Lance, and with Scam Darnold. But I feel like you could just wait in the wings over here in Chicago. And if this Justin Fields thing doesn't materialize, and let's be real, they still let him get hit a lot last year. You could go there and kind of clean up. Baker Mayfield should look for all the cleanup. You trash man right now.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But here's another quarterback that has his money. Cardinals tackle Kelvin Beachum on what Kyler Murray needs to do to be great. Be a man and grow up. All this other stuff that you see afterwards, he has the ability to lead. It's just when you're in that position, we need you to lead more. You're the face of the franchise. All of that was cleanup, or like just to make it sound pretty, put a bow on it. What he said was, grow the fuck up. And really, he wanted to leave it at that. That cliffhanger means that he ain't really say nothing after that. They just kind of look like that's all you going to say. And then he decides to clean it up. I'm not going to play it because that's what he said. But go ahead.
This is what we've said about Kyler since the beginning. He has all the, I'm not going to say he has all the physical attributes because he's not the tallest. He can throw the ball far. He can throw the ball accurately. He's fast. He understands the game. His leadership ain't there. Doesn't look like it's even close. And the fact that there are multiple veterans who continue to say this, remember, Larry Fitzgerald said this. Larry Fitzgerald doesn't really say anything about anybody. And the amount of veterans he's had, now they have been at the end of their career, J.J. Watt, et cetera. What was the dude who played at Cincinnati and came out there playing wide receiver? But he's had a bunch of guys who have all said the same thing about him, which is the same thing.
DeAndre Hopkins from Houston. You were talking about DeAndre?
No,
from
not
Houston?
Hopkins. What's your boy who played?
AJ Green. AJ Green.
Yes, AJ Green.
Yeah, he's old.
Well, yes, you've had a bunch of but it was just he's had multiple older NFL players all say the same thing about him. He needs to grow up. And like I told you before, I think that's an Oklahoma thing. I'm gonna leave it there.
It looks like it.
But it does seem to be a consistent theme across the board.
Somebody else that they got their money still has the Texans paying for Deshaun Watson. They fined $175,000 and lose a pick and paid because the NFL found a team paid an undisclosed amount for then Deshaun Watson to work out at a local facility in 2020 while theirs was closed, Adam Schefter reported. So Basically, they paid for Deshaun to work out, even though in 2020, I believe that was the COVID year, one of them. And everything was supposed to be.
You just got to
closed.
be a special type of stupid. Everything you do is just wrong. Everything.
Y'all can't tell me that them
What?
going after Deshaun. Nope. Never mind.
Get out of there. Get out. Lock it up. Throw that away. Don't even think about what you was about to say.
Man,
This is the reason that teams delete their logos and say we want to start over. Stuff like this. This is a bad franchise, and I think if there's anything that you should learn from this episode is everything starts from the top. And if you have poor management at the top of your organization, you're going to be trash, and it's going to be bad. Washington Commanders.
I want to get out of there, but I can't. Nothing that Deshaun Watson did is excusable. You can't tell me that Houston wasn't sitting on all of that information that happened with Deshaun and everything that happened with Deshaun, and then released it after he decided that he wanted a trade. You can't tell me that that wasn't vengeful and spiteful. That wasn't them doing the real justice and looking out for the women and all of that stuff. We knew what it was because that happened over a period of time. He didn't do it 23 times in 1 year. That is mental.
So you think they released the information and told on themselves? That's the only part that I can't really.
No,
I can't figure out how.
No, I think they're stupid. I think they're stupid. This right here proves that they're stupid. They're stupid.
You'll do
I think
anything.
that I think they did it. They didn't think it through. How remember I always say let's talk. You say talk it through. I say let's think it through. They didn't think that through. So they decided, well, I'm just gonna get the lawyer to be the representation that happens to be the owner's friend, and decide all of that stuff.
That.
And then I think that they went after him instead of. I think that they were absolved of a lot of wrongdoing, and the spotlight was focused on Deshaun. And I think they pushed everything to Deshaun and had no accountability for what they enabled and what they did.
So what you think they did is they actually
knew. I think they knew.
So they knew.
Yep.
They told.
100%. They told after he was
though
leaving.
they were held responsible for some of it, the true greater overarching responsibility they were able to kind of share.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I don't hate it.
They just, those cases went back years. They signed him to that contract extension 1 year before he requested to be traded, which means he was doing that before he signed the contract extension, which means if they were sitting on that and they knew, they signed him knowing to $151 million.
And a lost draft pick.
Yeah, $150 million that you signed him knowing that way. The only reason that it was nobody found it ironic that it was released afterwards. I think the heinousness of what he did clouded everything else away from that. But nobody found that. Yeah, superseded. Nobody found that. Nobody found that funny. Ironic.
I only play. I get kind of caught up in the fact that they did get into trouble about this, and I can't imagine telling on myself. I can't imagine telling on somebody else and getting myself in trouble.
Calculated loss.
That's
what do you call when the
but
Hawks play a team? Calculated loss. Schedule loss. Calculated loss.
Schedule loss.
That's a calculated loss. At the end of the day, I'm gonna fuck you over more than I'm gonna fuck me over, and it backfired.
But you didn't.
Yeah, I know. It backfired.
You calling them a special type of stupid.
Texans still paying for Deshaun Watson $175,000 and lose draft pick for letting the nigga work out during COVID. Excuse my language. 3 hours and 2 minutes and 13 seconds. That's a timestamp. I gotta bleep out the N-word. But you let him work out knowing he was breaking the rules. Yes, they're stupid. Stupid.
Okay. I think we're gonna name this episode "Special Type of Stupid." I I think that, I can't devote any more time to this level of stupidity. If you know anything about me, I live in Houston. I do detest the Houston Texans organization.
You said you can't devote any more time?
As well as Houston Asterisks, minus Dusty Baker. I'm done with them, and I'm done with that. And I'm done with him.
Here's some more stupid for you. First off, mental health is real. Shout out to Calvin Ridley because you apparently were going through a whole lot of stuff when you decided to gamble on football. We are happy that you are okay. For the rumors of everything that was causing your mental health in Atlanta, allegedly, happy that you are okay. But man, you sure fucked the Falcons over. Golly.
And don't forget. Now, I'm happy about your mental health, but this also started with Riley. Let's never forget the whole fiasco about signing my brother.
Yeah, and they cut him. Yeah.
That's where all of this really stemmed from.
It's an interesting article, though. Y'all should go back and read it. I mean, I legit no facetiousness, not being sarcastic. I'm happy that he's okay. Because from what he was saying, he couldn't get out of the bed. He was his daughter would come in and he would have all the lights out. He was crying randomly, all this other stuff. If you're going through that bout of depression, I'm happy you're out on the other side of it and get to do what you love. I just wish the Falcons.
You can't be doing that, and I mean, we all make mistakes, and once you're into a mistake, it's very difficult to tell somebody what they can't do. I'm already spiraling. But betting while you're off, just have to understand people gonna look at it a very
like you bet on the game while you weren't playing. Like you were already you took the days off. Matter of fact, you left the team and said you needed a mental health break.
And they gave it to you.
And then you bet on it.
At least you bet on us, though. Bet with us instead of against us.
But who got fucked overall? Us. So, it is what it is. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the Splash Cast Monday Night Raw, the Around the League edition. We've covered football, basketball, news around the culture and HBCU, as well as we had a hell of a pregame with a $30 million mistake. Y'all make sure you follow, subscribe.
One mistake.
Norwood.
Hope we mistake.
If we didn't forget anything, Norwood.
Boy, yep. Dude, throw that away. I was about to say something inappropriate. Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages,
Patreon.
This has been fun. This has been fantastic. Before I tell you anything, I want to tell you to like. I want to tell you to follow. I want you to tell you to subscribe. Thank you guys for hanging out through the audio experience. If you're listening, through the video experience, if you're watching. You could have been anywhere else in the world. You came and kicked it with me and Reggie. We truly appreciate that. With that said, number one, more black baseball. Speaking of black baseball, Ronald Acuna playing baseball again. It looks beautiful. He is moving fast, very fast. Number two, more black cowboys and more black cowgirls. Number three, the historically black college university in your neighborhood. Nope, got you. Historically black college university. The person who influenced you that went to your church, your favorite auntie, your cousin, your mother, who it is. Send some money over there to that historically black college university. Historically black college university in the neighborhood within you live. The one where you go tailgate, homecoming, just go to be around your people. Send some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the learning institution that gave me my degree and gave Reggie one of his degrees, the Hampton University. Send some money over there. I will also assume that Reggie will be perfectly fine. You send some money to Southern University as well. Congratulations to all the CIAA winners, SWAC winners, and MEAC winners. Did I miss anything?
We never miss.
Never miss.
That being said, man, y'all stay
safe.
And
it's only one thing to do now, Reggie. Hang out. We out this joint. Adios, mi amigos.